Well, back again. Welcome to cruise season. How's everybody doing on this glorious? First and foremost, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to our Patreon. Shout out to the gang. Kenny in the chat. Smooth in the chat. Y'all got to bring y'all ass on stage at some point tonight. We're going to get this thing rocking. It's 140 people in here already. We need the likes to look like about 200. Y'all know how we do on the walk-in. Like the stream. If y'all enjoy what y'all seeing, we got a hell of an episode tonight. We are blessed to have some amazing people on the panel. First and foremost.
That's true.
That's see, I like it already. I like that energy already. First and foremost, we have Miss Kelly on the stage in the building. Next, we have Miss Brittany Rose in the building. The one and only Miss B. Taylor in the building. And last but not least, my dog, Ricky Williams, in the building.
No problem.
And y'all know who we are, man. We are Crew Season. I'm Trill AC. This guy sitting to my right is OT. And it's going to be a hell of an episode, man. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Yes, man.
Cooling.
I'm wonderful.
Cool.
Give them a good show.
Yeah, man. It's going to be one of them ones, man. Just the word submission just in itself is just triggering. Like you just, if you say that, if you say submission in a room full of women, you just got to duck and hide because you never know what's going to come.
Get out or lay
Name.
So just a real quick icebreaker. Like, why do y'all take so much offense to the word submission? I mean, I know it ain't y'all, but I mean just women in general, as my boy Ricky was saying. I know it ain't y'all on stage, but we talking about just other women. Why are you get so triggered by that?
I'll go last.
I think we're gonna find out, but it's typically associated with, as we always hear, respectfully, slavery. Like at a man's beckoning call all day, every day, and what he wants. That's what it sounds like when people describe submission most of the time. So it's more giving and not receiving on your end. So that makes women typically uncomfortable.
I'll say for me that I used to cringe at that word when I was younger because I was taught from my peers and society that submission was a weak woman, a doormat, a woman who gets ran over, who don't have a voice for herself, a woman who's not independent, which was something that was pushed on us to be independent and have your own personality and don't let the thought of men revolve around your world and just be your own person. So I think it was just misconstrued of what real submission is. And we looked at the women who were basically doormats and taken advantage of and powerless. And we were like, oh, that's submission. We don't want that.
Oh, what do you think it stems from in terms of like, why is it so triggering, the word submission?
I don't know. I can't really say where it stems from because, I mean, ever since I was young, it's been a triggering word in a sense. It's like of Coming to America. It's like bark like a dog. Well, it's like that they really feel like that's what it is. Like whatever you like. Like that's what it really, how it comes off to them. That's what it seems like. So you can't even just say that word because it's like, how dare you? It's like you cussing them out, call them a B word or something like that. So, man, I don't know. I would like to know, kind of where it stemmed from and how can we, fix it, maybe come up with another word. I mean, I don't know, but the word submission in itself, I mean, we both submit to each other. So that's another thing too. It's like you mention it, and I guess there's some men who just want to assert their dominance in a sense, maybe. And so sometimes it's the wrong man, but they're quick to say for the right man, they'll do it. Or if he have a little money, then
a little money.
We'll get to that later,
Right. Ricky,
What's
how do you feel like, especially in this space that we in, big dog?
Man.
Word submission. Why do you feel like it's so triggering in this space? And just in general.
In general, women don't know what the hell it means. They don't know what it means.
Exactly.
To be honest with you. If I'm with you, you submitting in the bedroom every time, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? What's so different? What's so different? You know what I'm saying? But like we said before, I think the biggest issue is they don't know what it means or what it stands for, because again, they never had a real man where you sitting back and you can watch a man work and see how it benefits you. You know what I'm saying? They stuck in that dream. Hey, boss bid, da 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 da. I got to do everything myself. It's different when you got a man that's willing to handle that business. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no woman really want to break their fingernails working doing something they shouldn't have to do. No. You know what I'm saying? But in this world we live in, everything's extremes. You know what I mean? Everybody's extremist. And again, like I said, they just don't know what they don't know what it entails. You know what I'm saying? And they scared to lose control. Basically, they feel to give control up to a man, because the truth of the matter is they don't know how to choose a man. So it's kind of what it is.
Ms. Kelly, when you hear the word triggering, I mean submission, submit, this is any form of the word really is triggering. What do you think that stems from, for one, and does it trigger you for two?
So it does not trigger me, only because I know the real meaning of it. And I'm coming from like a biblical perspective. My father was a pastor, so he explained how submission works, especially in the home with husband and wife. And I saw it lived out between my parents. So I used to think it was being a doormat, just like Brittany said. I was like, I'm not going to submit to, but my dad explained it to me. He said, it's not you being a doormat. It is pretty much you giving the man, like, you're choosing to accept, you're yielding to his superiority, because as biblically defined by God, the man is the head of the household and the woman comes under that. He said, so it's not really you giving up who you are. It is, if there's a disagreement, you have to yield to what he says, because he's the head of, and it's not saying you can't have your own opinions, you can't have your own thoughts, you can't have your own perspectives, but if there's a disagreement, his word trumps yours. Like, and it's not, and there's even a scripture that says, submit ye one to another. So he said, the way your mother and I do it, he said, I submit even to her if she's the authority in a situation. He said, like, she's the better cook. So in the kitchen, I'll submit, I'll yield, I'll let her handle it because she's the authority. He said, but as far as conversations go, as far as final say, it was always my dad, and my mom always submitted. And I thought when I was younger, I was like, oh my gosh, she always just does what you say. That's just, I don't want to be weak like that. But there is so much power. And my mother was married for 38 years until my father passed away. And they were very happy. And I love their dynamic. And that's what I want eventually. But I think Ricky was right in saying that it has to be the right kind of man, because certain men can abuse that. And they can abuse you in every way if you allow it. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I think we in a generation where women are way more educated than they have been. Women are making way more money than they have been, way better jobs, way better status in terms of being on the same level as a lot of men. We're just gonna keep it honest, on the same level as a lot of men, more so in this era than in previous generations, to where the women kind of didn't have a choice but to submit because the man was making more money, the man had more status in the community. Women, recently just got the right to vote, to even get a job in itself, just in general. So it just wasn't a lot of power. But I think now, women have elevated in stature. So with that comes, newfound abilities, newfound, I don't even know what the word is, but just feeling like I'm here now, and I was there, but I'm here now, and you're not gonna talk to me like you used to talk to them, because I'm not on that level. I'm up here. I'm right with you. I got more degrees than you. I make more money than you. I'm smarter than you. So I think it's a respect thing in this era. A lot of women literally don't respect the man that they're with. I was on a panel earlier, shout out to Kayla, but she touched on that. Like, how can I respect a man that I'm smarter than, or that I'm more of a go-getter than? Like, you don't, leadership isn't given to you just because you're a man, just because you got a dick between your legs. Like, what have you accomplished? What have you done? Like, what is your track record? What does your resume say in terms of leadership? I'm just supposed to follow you because you're a man?
How
that
would
ain't
you
gonna
answer
happen.
that?
Mhm.
How would you answer that? Should a woman just not be with a man like that, or should she see things about him that she can respect?
Again, it depends on what that is. My response to her, right, in terms of the whole smarter than you thing and different things like that. Like it's okay to be smarter than somebody, because some people have book sense and don't have common sense, or some people are super smart, well read, well educated, but they don't execute shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lot to be said about somebody that's gonna take that risk and step out there and go actually get things done, aside from just being smart. And your man may be that. But I think, again, a lot of women in this era don't respect a man's leadership because, again, they look at it from a perspective like, I've accomplished more than you have. So how am I to follow you just because you're physically stronger than me? That's how they look at it. So with that, you're going to have a lot of hurdles trying to get them women to submit. A man going to have to bend over backwards and dominate her for her to submit. Go ahead, Ricky.
Trill, let me throw you for a loop, because this is a perfect question for the man to answer. I hear, and specifically talking about the Black community, knowing the single motherhood rate in the community and absent fathers, a lot of Black men, I hear them say they want Black women to submit to them, right? To follow their leadership. And they always ask us women, what makes us wives? How do we know how to be a wife? But nobody's talking about, where did you guys learn? Where did Black men learn to be leaders if the father was not in the home? How do you know how to be a husband? How do you know how to lead? What is your foundation? Because a lot of men are demanding something that they don't even know how to do because no one taught them. They don't have mentors in their life. They don't have fathers in their life. So how do they even know that they're even trustful to lead?
Again, it all stems back to track record. He may not have that leadership experience in a relationship, but he may have went to school and graduated. He may have played sports. He was the leader of his football team. He was, he amongst his group of guys, he's the leader amongst them in terms of making decisions to us to set up money plays here, or speaking for the group, or whatever it is may be. So you can be a leadership and a leader in other areas, and those traits and abilities can transfer to a relationship.
But you know how to lead men. But do you know how to lead a woman in a relationship? Do you know how to be a husband first? Because somebody did say in the comment that we talk about submission, but we don't talk about religion. And a lot of people want to take things out of the Bible to benefit their own needs and wants, but they don't also want to submit to God. So it's not, you can't ask a woman to submit to you and you're not submitting to God as well. So it's just confusing because, yeah, I can say I wasn't raised to be a wife, but neither were you raised to be a husband, because you don't even know what it takes to be a husband, how to respect your wife so she can trust you to lead.
Right, but see, it's all about having traits that are transferable. If we're talking about leadership, when you hear leadership, you think of a few traits just right off the top of your head. Somebody that's level-headed, somebody that can make decisions well, somebody that's logical, somebody that's looking 3 or 4 steps ahead. And again, even though he may not have relationship experience with a woman, he's developed those leadership skills in other areas of his life. So it's not going to be that difficult of a transition for him to make. But in terms of what you're saying, direct leadership in a relationship, you're right. Most men do not have that because, and is that necessarily their fault? No, that they just may not have seen that type of thing in the household the same way that your mom may not have taught you how to be a wife. There's plenty of women out here that aspire to be married and that aspire for this wedding and this 30, 40 years of marriage. And I want a leadership, I want a leader. I want a great man for me to follow. And you have no idea how to be a wife to that man, or the urge to even inquire what it is that he would want from you. You just come into it with preconceived notions and traits that you developed in other aspects of life and just hope that it transfers. We doing the same thing.
To answer B. Taylor, if I could, really what it comes down is accountability. Again, the baseline of all of this. Like, I know y'all don't believe this, ladies. I know y'all don't believe this. But men that's looking to be responsible, we're forced to be accountable. We're forced to be accountable. That's how you know if a man is a good leader, because no matter what, good or bad, he's going to take responsibility for what happens. Right?
Are you speaking for all men, or
I'm speaking for responsible men.
Okay.
Right? Responsible. We can't speak on all men because again, every man's not doing what you would want him to do as your mate. You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking on responsibility and accountability. That's how you should know if a man is a leader. If he, even when he mess up, he takes account for, hey, my bad. Right? Even when players mess up and it come in his face, hey, I did that, I was wrong, such woo woo. Right? Because what y'all tell us, we want the truth off bat no matter what, and that's where respect builds from, and then that's where everything else falls into place. Right? But the truth is, a man that's responsible out of the streets, we're forced to be accountable. We have no choice. We have no choice. That's why I keep harping on y'all. The decision, if y'all gonna keep putting the freight on us, then it's y'all job to fall in line. If not, it's y'all that's out of pocket, not us.
And just real quick before you respond, everybody get these likes up. It's like a 200 and something difference between the viewers and likes. So we will cut this. Like, you know what? What a power. Let me cut this live stream off. Y'all don't stop what y'all doing right now, man, and like the video, man.
You should do like Kevin Samuels and just play music.
Right, get you some elevator music.
You know what?
I'll wait. Rest in peace to the Godfather, man. But yeah, man, y'all get them likes up, man. Everybody stop what y'all doing right now and like the stream if you ain't liked it already. It's free to like. You know what I'm saying?
We'll wait.
We're gonna wait, man. But you know, I know B Taylor was about to try to jump down bro throat, so I just gotta let him.
Actually, I respect what he said because I see a lot of men, and it's like we speak from our experience, right? Like Ricky, you only speak from what type of man you are and the men that surround yourself. But when women try to tell men like you about the dating world, you guys are not going to understand because you don't walk in a woman's high heels.
No, I overstand. That's the whole thing. I overstand, and that's why I put so much onus on you as a woman. I put onus on you as a woman because no matter what, at the beginning of the day, you choose that man to be. You let that man lay up with you. You stop saying I don't look. This is what I tell my daughter. I told my daughter this. It don't matter what a man running out of his mouth is. What he does is what you follow.
Absolutely.
So what do you speak to the women who are on my channel and they are on my single mother video about having to leave? Because let's be honest, there are a minority of women who lay around with the Pookie and Ray Rays and get pregnant by them. But there are women who are in dedicated relationships, married women, and they get pregnant. And this is something my pastor even said, that the most time a man will cheat on their wife or their woman is when she is pregnant. I don't know why, but that was something that he broke down and said. So most of the women who come on my page hurt and in pain, that is the biggest betrayal that a man can do to a woman is when they cheat while she is in the most vulnerable state. And this man has showed consistency. He just had a slip up of a moment, or maybe he was whatever a man feels in the moment when a woman gets pregnant and they start acting up. And then these women are so confused because he married her. He did the right thing. He's been consistent, but he cheated. And like y'all say, like men, sometimes they can't control that. So what do you say to those women who end up single mothers because they left a situation because the relationship is so broken because they can't forgive him for stepping out and cheating? Like, it's kind of like, do you blame the woman for not having discernment of predicting the future that he was going to cheat on her? Because that's kind of basically putting the blame on the woman for her man to cheat, that he cheated on her. So what do you say to those women?
What I say to those women is that shit happens.
Right, that's not what the world is saying.
Hold on, B. Taylor. Hold on. Right? Shit happens. Right? Stuff gonna happen in your life that you don't agree with. What is that person worth to you? Like, this the crazy part. Right? This the crazy part. Y'all have that same argument, right? Y'all had that same argument. The majority, minority, that's whatever, right? Y'all had that same argument, right? But y'all leave y'all baby's father to go with another dude. Y'all ain't worried about the kid in a relationship with their baby father. Y'all you worried about is your feelings.
What do you mean by that? So if the man cheated while she was pregnant and she left the situation.
What I'm saying is shit happens. What is it worth to you? Is your family more important than that indiscretion?
Really?
Listen, yes, really, because if you marry, we supposed to be in this.
But people, that's something that you broke an oath.
No, it doesn't matter. It's for better or for worse, correct?
So what if she cheated while she was pregnant?
Shit happens.
Then the man has to decide if his family is with his wife so they can raise their kids.
How many men are gonna stay?
More men stay than you know. You know why? Because when shit like that happen to men, they keep their business to their motherfucking self.
Okay.
You know the things y'all don't do. You know, y'all got to blow that man up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you know, Clubhouse. Y'all don't understand the power of privacy.
Okay. So you're saying
I actually asked my father before he passed away. I said, Dad, what would you do if mom cheated on you? And I was like, I want to know for real. He was like, I would forgive her. I was like, are you serious? You would just forgive her after all these years? He was like, yeah. He said, because, I mean, she wasn't a virgin when I met her. So is it really that big a deal? He said, I would forgive her. He said, because my family's staying intact and my children needed their mother. He said, I would have just forgiven her. He said, now, if it would have kept occurring, then we need to revisit the situation. But if she did it once and she apologized, he said, I would forgive her.
I'm going to be realistic. That's why my first situation didn't work, because I found out that he was doing that. And I was like, there's just no way that you put my life at risk and you're also disrespecting me while I'm carrying your child. And I just couldn't get over that. And that's something like emotional trauma for a lot of women, because the man that you want to take an oath to and marry and carrying his seed and could die is cheating on you. And
understood.
What if it happens again?
I heard that men like women
lose respect for you each time they cheat on you. So if he's like, well, she forgave me, I'm gonna go do it again. I'm gonna go do it again.
That's again, there you go again in these hypotheticals. Y'all live on extremities.
These are like real life.
Listen to what you saying, B. Taylor. So it won't happen. What if it happened again? If y'all live in such extremes, why don't y'all move with that type of caution? If you live in such extremes, why don't y'all move with that type of caution? It don't make no sense. It makes no sense to me. Everything y'all the modern woman want to talk about is in extremes. It's either the very best of times or the worst of times. It's nowhere in the middle.
So again, experience.
I do have a question for you, Ricky. What if he cheats and then comes back and brings you a disease? Is that forgivable?
While you're pregnant.
It's up to you. Isn't that the real truth? It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm not saying if the man done it or the woman done it, if it's wrong or right. I don't care. It's not my relationship. I'm telling you, it's up to you. You have a choice. You have a choice to lay down with that man. You have a choice to take that man back. You have a choice to leave that man. It's completely up to you.
I think women are just tired of being cheated on, and they're willing to leave their marriage and relationship and break up the family because they're tired of disrespect, because they know that they feel like they can find somebody who's going to respect them.
But that also goes back to just the origin of finding the right person to begin with. So like most of the times,
find the right person, because there are good people who do make mistakes, like Ricky said, make mistakes. So therefore, we cannot predict somebody's going to cheat on us.
No, not at all. But
I have a question.
The thing is, we do have the ultimate choice, because if my man cheats on me and I decide like I'm going to stay in this because this relationship means enough to me to where I want to do the work with him, because that's the other part of cheating that doesn't get talked about, is it's not just the man has to kiss your ass for 10 years. Like you have to do work too as a woman to recover from cheating, because it happens to you and your relationship.
But it hurts your self-esteem as a woman, your confidence in the bedroom and everything.
It does. And that's why I think most relationships don't recover from cheating. Honestly, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot.
And you're getting flashbacks to your man probably hitting you some type of way, and you're like, he probably hit her like that too. That image is gonna be in your head, like you can't get up.
Why you got to do that? Why you got to think about that?
Because
that's a woman's mind.
I don't. I'm like, ain't nobody.
Am I not doing my job?
Nah, but see again, I think
it's like doubt. When your man cheats on you, it just places doubt in your mind. And so again, if you decide, okay, our relationship is worth saving, I want to move forward with this person, then what does that look like to you guys as a couple? It can't be this whole thing of like generally how to recover. What was done to your relationship? Why was it done? How do you move forward from that? You can or you can't, depending on who you're with.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Kelly.
For everyone, what percentage of men do you think cheat?
Cheat and get away with it, or want to cheat?
No, like actually do the act of cheating, like they succeed.
Like have like intercourse with a woman, or like flirting online.
No, I mean like go all the way.
Physical, all the way. You saying all the way?
All the way, yeah. What percentage?
60%
out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
I say because like what black men make up with 13%. So it's like 87%. 87.
You're saying black men. Lil Duval said black men don't cheat.
That's what I'm saying. So like black men make up 13%. So it's 87% of men who cheat.
Yeah, I'm counting all the Caucasians.
That's a fact.
Because I know black women get this thing in their head that, oh my God, I'll go find another guy.
17.
My white friends, their husbands cheat all the time. They know they're cheating.
But
they
hold on.
know they're cheating. But they're like, you know what? I don't want to leave this situation. I like
for love though.
A lot of those women be cheating too.
Right.
They cheat.
A lot of women, they cheat too. That's why so many of them be swingers, because they like, we might as well.
They be riding out together. That's a fact.
That's how we
like, you know what? He makes this much money. I don't want to leave the situation. I'm comfortable. I'll just let him do his thing. It's not serious. It's just this little, weekend, little getaway, whatever. But they come back and they're family.
If a man cheats on his woman nowadays in 2022, if a woman stays, she's most likely gonna get her licked at.
It's part of the game, ain't it?
Oh yeah, women don't play today.
It's part of the game.
They go, they cold with it too. They go mess with your best friend or your daddy.
Part of the game.
Not your.
I just asked because you said, "Oh,
said not your
that man." I asked that question because Big Taylor, you said I'm gonna leave that man and go find somebody who doesn't cheat. But it's like a lot of guys are cheating.
Our girlfriends tell us. We go to our girlfriends, we cry about it, and they be like, "Girl, you could do better. You could find somebody that's really."
Yep, they sure do. They be like, "Go on, girl, go on, get you a new man so I can slide in the back door." That's what they be doing.
I'm gonna tell y'all this now. I honestly think a lot of black men are more faithful than other races, and that's not being biased. That's the truth. Because in my industry that I work with, it's a lot of stay-at-home moms that be stepping out. The man be at work, he making 150, 200 plus. She do her thing and back home. She can do the happy hour with the girls, do her little fling. She back home, she picking up the kids from soccer practice, football practice. Like it's emotion. It's all clockwork. I'm just saying.
That's all. Look, man, it's like if that person is worth it to you, if that relationship is worth it to you, you got a choice. It's that you can complain about it all you want. Your feelings hurt. If your feelings hurt so bad that you can't get over it, move on.
I mean, I guess I would say if I'm married and my husband cheats, I would forgive him because it's like,
maybe I'll be in jail.
I mean, if you're married,
love the honesty.
Like once you're married, there's children involved. You have mortgage together. You have assets together. Like to break all that up because he put his penis in somebody else when he put his penis in someone else before you met him. And if you guys break up, he's gonna put his penis somewhere else. It's like, is that act worth breaking up everything that we have?
Yeah, but
now it's different. If it's a boyfriend, I would chuck the deuce. Like, bye, okay. But if my husband and he did it, so I had a moment weakness, I'm sorry, I would give him a get out of jail free card once. If he kept doing it, then yeah, again, we need to revisit this. But I don't know. So upset about cheating. Oh my God, he put his penis somewhere else.
What we on submission? What happened?
I know, man. That's why I gotta reel it in. Hold on, just real quick. We got to pay some bills.
Always be Taylor, man.
We got to pay some bills, man. Shout out to Kitty in the building. Kitty T is in the building.
Get your hands off me.
That boy's a damn fool. Resonating soul, we appreciate you. That's why having God is the basis for the foundation in a marriage. I agree. Rob Hand Jr. says, hey, we got mentors or father figures that help us. That's true as well. In terms of learning how to, be husbands.
There's also books, and there's also like conventions where they'll have like how to be a good husband.
It's also life, because nobody comes to save a man. You got to figure it out on your own.
That's very true. Pelly say, Ricky, she won't get it. It's never their fault. G Wilder says, hit that like button. That's a fact. Real quick, everybody stop what y'all doing. Hit that like button, man. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. This bitch rolling. Y'all hilarious, man. I'm about to some of these jokes. Y'all is hilarious. Shout out to G Wilder though. Again, everybody stop what y'all doing. Like the stream if y'all enjoy what y'all seeing. And we're gonna keep this thing moving. What's we got in? Dub Will in the building. He says, so is the unity of the family less important than your feelings?
I'm trying to tell you. That one-way shit.
That is a hell of a
What's
question.
more important?
The Book of Ronan says fear and failed porn is the leading cause to such excuses and shattered relationships. That's definitely got a lot to do with it for sure.
Whoa.
Doug Will says, go get a broken, ugly dude, then he'll never cheat.
No, I heard that you cheating too.
No, they've got time to cheat.
Oh my God. Shout out to Toya Johnson. Say, Beta Taylor, do you have any seasoned women in your circle who are in real marriages?
Can I answer that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's for you.
So in my friend group, I just recently had a friend that just got married, and my sister married her high school sweetheart. So I actually come to my sister first for advice, because she is a married woman and she has been in a relationship with her high school sweetheart for over 10 years. So
G Wilder says, thanks, for saying women cheat too. That's a fact, because they definitely try to monopolize that. We the only ones that do it. If she cheat, I want a divorce. That's a fact. I'm gone. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, I think that's all of them. Okay, so this would be a nice point to transition. In terms of men of quality, men of moral, men of leadership,
men of stature,
upstanding, wholesome, Christian men, like everybody, all the men on this panel and all the men that's in this chat right now.
Yeah.
What does effective leadership from a man look like? Going back to what Brittany B. Taylor said earlier about having that knowledge or not having that tutelage. What does effective leadership from a man look like?
I want to hear this.
I want to hear from the men.
I don't follow a man, so this on y'all.
What does effective leadership look like for a man?
In a man, because it's a lot of men out here claiming to be leaders. There's a lot of men out here who are getting women pregnant.
Wife?
Huh?
Leading the family or leading the wife? What are we?
Both.
And
you can start first.
For one, you need to respect him. That's just off rip. In order to respect him, I think it takes an individual who respects himself, has integrity, values where you're going enough to have a plan or create a plan or try to solve problems with you, for the betterment of the unit. But trusting that person is important. And in that is selection and all that other stuff. But in my mind, leadership looks like allowing a man to lead you, but I don't know.
Okay, let me rephrase the
so you're asking me like what a man leading looks
you wanted a man for a leader.
Hold on real quick. I'm a rephrase it. The type of man that you would follow, what does that look like?
All that I just described for me.
Let's go.
I can go, but I can wait.
Okay. The type of man I would follow, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I had a lot of men in my life. I had my dad in my life and I had my grandfather in my life. And I, no disrespect to them, but they were very beta men. So I don't really know what that characteristic looked like But if I had an idea of what I would like to follow, just based off of my relationship, is somebody that I know that can protect me. Somebody that I know that if shit hits the fan in the world, he is the person that I want to follow behind. Not I'm scared where he's taking me. When we hit hard times, somebody who can be the man that can be the logical person in the relationship, because I'm going to be emotional because it's in my nature. I want him to be there to be the logical person to execute the plan, have a plan where he's leading us, where we're going in the next 10 years from now. Babe, I want a house. Okay, let me work to get that. Let me work to get my kids in a better school. Like, put us in a better situation, and always elevating a man that's under God, because that's me personally. I want a man to submit to God first, where that a man of God, a lot of men don't understand that. They think it's just them praying, but they're not leading, and they're not submitting to God in a way that they're supposed to do biblically. So a man of that character, who is faithful to his wife, who has principle and character about himself. I can't get into details about that, but just a man of God. I feel like that's, yeah.
Miss Kelly, what does that look like? The type of man that you would follow?
So I had a phenomenal dad. I know you guys know that because I talk about him all the time. But I would say that effective leadership is also being a servant, because I don't think you can lead without serving the people that follow you. And a man being effective leader is a man that knows where he's going, because you can't lead anyone somewhere if you don't even know where you're going yourself. Like, you have to have a direction for someone to know what they're following. But I don't think leadership is control. I think it's when you think of a leader, you don't think of someone that's going to push or pull you. They just head in that direction, and you're like, you know what? I like where he's going. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to be right there with you because I like your plan. I also would want a man that I would follow. I want him to be a thinker. I want him to be a problem solver, and I want him to be a caring person that can communicate. So that's important to me.
Alec, if you got a daughter, what type of male leader would you advise her to go out there and get, or to look for?
If I had a daughter, I would try to look for a man that's like her pops. That's what I think about. He needs to emulate things that, I would exude, like being confident in yourself, being able to be a good listener, understanding when you messed up, just being able to, go back to the drawing board and just having a plan. I think that's one of the main things. Women just want to know that you know what you're doing, in a sense, but you have to be confident. You got to wear it on your shoulder. You got to have a lot of knowledge, just in general. Someone who is assertive, someone who can also be gentle, in a sense. It's like you got to be well-rounded to be a leader. And
like a perfect balance.
Yeah, it's just like that perfect balance. Yeah.
Ricky, these women out here picking terrible leaders. I think both of us are on record in saying that. What type of leader, or what type of man, leadership qualities, what type of leader should they be looking for in terms of qualities?
No nonsense. No nonsense. Decision maker. A man who stands on his square. A man who don't let you run off and make stupid decisions. A man that's going to provide for you no matter what he got to do.
Right.
No matter what he has to do. Right? And again, a man that's about his act, who says what he does. My word is all I got is, as a man, all you got is your words and your balls. And as Tony Montana said, I don't break them for no one. Right? Everything else past that could be worked on, the money, all that stuff, because if you got a man that's about his purpose, you got a man that's standing on what he say, he gonna get in those circles and make stuff happen. Right? But first and foremost, you got to have a man that's able to keep you in line. Because as I said before, the majority of y'all are children. Y'all don't know what y'all want. The reason why y'all choose wrong is because y'all don't know what y'all choosing.
Yeah, I agree, man. I would say that a leader is a man that's more concerned with the destination than your feelings. A man that can block out all of the noise, all of the white noise around him, all of the women pulling at him from this way, what his boys want him to do that way, you and your unstable emotions on this side, and literally just be level-headed, see where it is that we trying to go and get us there. Now, in terms of style, there are like multiple different styles of leaders. There are men that are, boisterous and bold and just, firm. I'm announcing I'm the leader. This is how we gonna do it. I don't give a damn. Da, 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 da. Then there's a lot of men who are just laid back, chill, but lead by example. I'm like, you believe in where I'm telling you to go because I've shown a track record of success in everything that I've done. So I think, again, a man with a solid resume, a man of integrity. Another thing.
Integrity is important. Yes.
Probably the most important thing, if I'm
Someone
gonna be
with
honest.
good character. Definitely.
Yeah. So it's like, those are the things that type of traits that women should be looking for, but instead, oftentimes, money is prioritized. Instead, oftentimes, popularity is prioritized. Oftentimes, swagger is prioritized over those key qualities that I just named. And then that's where a lot of women go wrong. They'll try to pick a man who has that swag or that popularity or that money and try to mold him, or pray that I can mold him into a man that has solid morals, a man that has non-negotiables, a man that has a plan, a man that's seeing shit 3-4 steps ahead. He's not out at the club every night because I'm trying to build our future and solidify what it is that we building and where we going, and setting precedent, standard in our household. We're gonna eat at the dinner table as a family at 8 o'clock every night. Sunday, we're going to church every morning. I don't care what y'all got going. This is what we doing. That's what a leader is. Now, you may not feel like doing it. The kids may not feel like doing it, but who gives a damn? That's how this family is running because I'm the leader of it. And at the end, it's going to be beneficial for us to do so. And I know that because I'm looking 5 steps ahead. I'm not making decisions based on what's right in front of me or what's, emotionally triggering. So I feel like that's what a leader is. And I feel like a lot of times those type of men get overlooked for a lot of the stuff that I just named.
Where are those type of men? Where are they? Where are they?
They already got somebody.
That's real.
I'm not overlooking them. I'm looking for them.
No, but honestly though, like I like hear women say that a lot in terms of them men being hard to find. Like, honestly, is that man really that hard to find? Because I don't necessarily think it is. I can name 5-6 men right off the top of my head like that, and 3 of them is in my crew. So again, men that have solid structure, solid foundation, men of their word, men of integrity, men that's, again, leaders, good jobs, solid crib, cars, different things like that. Not consumed with attention, not whatever, like literally focused on what they trying to build and what we trying to build together. Shit, if I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, like it's plenty of men like that out here. And that's why every time women say, well, where are these men at? I'd be confused.
Wait, can I answer that?
Sure.
You're too
Because I feel like, well, with my boyfriend, he's like, my homeboys know me, right? But I'm like, but I know you in a different way than they know you. Because I'm intimate. Like, we're intimate. We're together. Your homeboys don't date you. So how you are in a relationship and how you are with your friends is totally different. Your homeboy not gonna know certain things that you do in a relationship and behind closed doors than what I know. So it may look like one way to you, but you don't know how he is in a relationship and what he's doing in that relationship when he's with that woman. You're only hearing his side when there is problems. You're not hearing the other side of why that woman won't take that man. Because if he's a good quality man, there's too many women out here and they feel like it's not enough good men where they start going after men who are already taken because they're like, well, shoot. I don't care. I just want a good man and I'm going to take him and I'm going to take the married one too. Because they feel like it's not enough good men.
The truth is, again, my opinion, I can't say the truth is. My opinion is that just some women like what they like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just
That's
like
80% of it right there.
Right. I tell the fellas all the time, you can ask Trill, bro. Like, ladies, it ain't no different for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes y'all eyes like what y'all heart can't fucking handle.
Yeah, but what about the girls that probably like your friends and he don't like them, but they're good women, but he's not attracted to them?
That's just what it is, right?
Right. So don't say that it's not women that probably are after him. They're probably
I just said, did you hear what I just said? I just told that I tell the fellas the same thing, right? Sometimes most of the times your eyes like what your heart can't handle.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fact. I mean, we see it all the time in terms of even these dudes with popularity and status that I'm talking about. A lot of women desire the hell out of them and then get with them and realize the attention that comes with that, and your self-esteem can't handle what you're asking for. But you just like it because it's a shiny toy, and not only that, but other women like it. Again, we spoke on that before in terms of a man being desirable. All that shit factors into why you chose who you chose. We can sit here and say it don't, but that's just how people are programmed. But again, a lot of times your self-esteem can't handle that. But dating back to what you said in terms of a man moving one way in his friend group and another way in his relationship, I agree with that partly. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. If we're speaking about integrity, if we're speaking about, a man being a stand-up dude, sure, we're not gonna know all of the details, the minor details that goes on in his relationship. But I can look at my guys and have a pretty good idea of how they're moving in their relationship, how they treat their woman, how they because again, birds of a feather flock together. We just did a whole Battle of the Sexes. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Battle of the Sexes 6, man, featuring B. Taylor.
Great pod.
That's a fact. Hell of an episode. And real quick, y'all get the likes up. But what I'm saying is that if you we are well aware, because these are our homies. Like, we spend day for day with them. We like, nobody knows your flaws better than your boys. Not even his girl. You want some honesty? That's honesty. You'll never know your man the way his boys do.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So would you be surprised if one of your friends, like if their wives told you that they put hands on them? Would that surprise you?
Hell yeah. And the thing is this, right? Because I know dudes who've done that before. I was cool with them until I found that out. But I knew dudes who done that before, and then when they told me that, I started putting shit together, and I'm like, well, yeah, he was always a bit on the aggressive side. He was always in terms of like being super dismissive of women and just being aggressive toward women during arguments and all type of shit. But again, so that type of situation wouldn't, shock me for somebody like that. But again, that's not a friend. That's a associate. That's somebody I kick with every now and again. Your friend, though, like these niggas that we've been knowing each other since grade school, that would shock the hell out of me because that's not in them.
Yeah, your dog.
We just gonna be honest.
A lot of men don't have friends.
I gotta be defending myself.
Right. So it's like it gotta be a hell of a reason for him to be done that. But again, why? Because I know how he is. I've seen him respond in the trenches. I've seen him when his back is against the wall. I've seen him get in arguments with women and where he just walk off and be like, you know what, man, all right, whatever. I know how confrontational he is. I know what's gonna make him, snap. I know what triggers him. I know what don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I genuinely mean that. You'll never know your man the way his real friends do. Okay. So I say all that to say those integrity, that integrity, those morals and all that shit that he displays for him to even be a part of our friend group, most of that is gonna translate to his relationship. Now, every small detail in terms of what he do in the bedroom or how nasty, how freaky, all that shit, I don't want to know. We keep that shit to your damn self. But in terms of his integrity and how he moves, hell yeah, that's the same thing to me. Those two things are not that differently.
I want to say this to kind of address, right, as far as the choosing of men, right? A good man that got his head on his shoulders not gonna let you run amok, right? But the truth of the matter is, not the minority, the majority of women look at that as being controlling, right? So when you see that might be a good dude, right? But because he won't let you jump out of line or go out here looking like every day is an Instagram photo shoot, right? Oh, he controlling. I can't deal with him. Da 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 da. Right? Again, like I said, you got to know what you choosing and you got to know what you looking for. If you looking for that 50-50 shit, then you just say it. You know what I'm saying? I want a 50-50 dude that's gonna let me run them up, do what I want to do. I'll see you from time to time and we'll split bills.
Ricky, what made you choose your wife?
Because she was my friend.
That is very important. That's what my sister says. That was her friend for a year. And then they dated. And now they're married to this day. Friendship is everything to start off the foundation with.
Absolutely.
Was she like everything you wanted when you met her, or did she kind of like fall in line with what your plan?
No, my wife was a savage. My wife was a real live savage. You know what I'm saying? But the person I knew, she was worth it. I can't explain it to nobody else. She's worth it to me.
Okay.
Right? It don't matter what it looked like to nobody else on the outside. I don't care.
I like that. I like that response. Because a lot of women feel like they have to fit into a box to be married, but I feel like if that man wants you, he's gonna want you.
Yeah,
y'all figure out the rest.
I understand that everybody settles.
Yeah.
Everybody settles. And like I said, life, I didn't have a bunch of people telling me to be okay, this is what's wrong. Life taught me. Life gave me lessons, right? And I realized the type of female that I was attracted to wasn't the female for me. So I made the mental checks. I made the mental notes to be like, okay, this chick, nope. Right?
What age were you when you figured that out?
22.
So when did you get married?
I got married when I was 23.
Oh, wow. So you got married young.
Yep.
Because I just wonder, how were you able to make that discernment at that age? Because there's so many women who are so misguided at that age where they're like lost.
Because every relationship is a gamble.
This is true.
Like, this the thing. Like I said, that's why I don't like the bad faith argument from the extremes, because it don't matter. That shit happens. Right. But a lot of our women, y'all moving in fear, and that it got y'all stagnant because you so scared. Life is, hey, you was lucky to wake up this morning. Shit happens. The point is take your time with that person you choosing, and hopefully, that's all I can say is hopefully, right? That person is worth it for you. It don't matter what it look like on the outside. It don't matter what it look like to nobody else. All that matters is what it look like between y'all in between them four walls.
That's true.
Right?
You just said a scary word though for a lot of women. Y'all think women are scared of the word submissive or submitting to somebody. The most scariest word for a woman is settling.
Everybody settles.
But women don't want to settle.
And that's y'all fucking problem.
And that's why we do what we do. Because we don't want to settle.
Like I said, that's y'all problem.
Our parents tell us not to. Society tells women, don't ever settle.
Society ain't got nothing to do with what go on in your own head. When you ready to fix it, you will. And if you won't, and if you never are, you won't. That's why I don't give y'all no slack.
You want to be a bunch of cat ladies.
But at the end of the day, you doing what's best for you. It ain't about settling and about what you could have
versus what you want. Is it settling?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's just doing what's best for you. And I mean, most of my friends, everybody that's in my close circle, they either with like their high school sweetheart or early college. Like a lot of my friends have 5, 6, 7+ years relationship with they people. And like Ricky, like when I was around that age, I was dating somebody serious, and at the time I was ready to get married because I had I felt I was financially, established, had my own place, had a nice car, like everything was on the up for me. So I'm like, okay, the next step is to find me somebody to spend the rest of my life with. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, and I didn't even get to that stage. But I knew what I wanted because I had already dated women and been with women, and you know what I'm saying. So it was repetitive. It was old. It was like, okay, I know what it's gonna be like. You know, so yeah, I mean, I think a lot of men, especially if they are financially ready early, a lot of times they do be ready to get married. I mean, and we have plenty of examples that didn't written in on the podcast talking about they 21, 22, got like a kid, and sometimes they've been with like an older woman or something, and they financially ready and they feel they, you know, in a position to get married.
I'm like, I'm sorry, Trill. Let me get this off real quick, bro.
All right, go ahead, bro.
And it's crazy, like, it's just crazy to me how, you know what I'm saying, like, as far as our women, right? Y'all want us to see stuff from y'all perspective, right? And we understand it. That's why we move accordingly, right? Not just it's the right thing to do, but because we want to keep peace in our house. But it's just weird to me how y'all can't see the sacrifices and decisions that men make to keep y'all.
You know what's funny?
I'm not vulnerable.
When you guys were talking, Trill and Ricky and OT, it was like I literally saw like, man, like the things that you guys think about and juggle in your mind. It's like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, like trying to make sure this work stays in line, the family's happy, the kids are taken care of. Like it's like so much, and we don't even know that. Like just you verbalizing it and expressing it, that means a lot.
But that's why submission is so important. Like it works in that way, because as your man is doing whatever he's doing to lead your household, you're offering peace. It doesn't mean you're, you know, well, depending on who you are, you know, your definition of submission is your own. But I don't see anything wrong with, if you have a man leading you, meeting him by offering peace and making it easy for him to lead you. Like that's what to me submission is, so that together you get to where you're going.
I agree. Real quick, man. We're going to pay some bills. Everybody get the likes up. If y'all have not liked the stream, go ahead and like it real quick while I read these super chats. Now you good. Shout out to Tanya, done wrote in again. She says, marriage is an alliance. Get out your feelings. It's about building a legacy. I agree.
Facts.
Tony Talk, shout out to Tony in the building. So I appreciate the topic discussion. We appreciate you for coming through, big dog.
Got me 2 sweaters.
Red, what up, boy?
Red.
That's family in the building right there. For better or for worse, there's a lot of value in those words, and an emotional reaction just shows she may not fully understand that. Damn,
that's my little brother, y'all.
Shout out to Red, man. Y'all already know what time it is.
Good shit, Red.
Tanya says leadership is knowing your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and knows how to build a team to accomplish goals. Family is the team. So fact. John the Baptist says a woman should not pick her husband. A father should pick her husband. He's, I don't know. Ooh.
Dean is in the building.
The Dean himself.
What's cracking, man? What's cracking? What y'all been up to?
Man, shit, Living. How you doing, big boy?
Man, been good, man. Been good. How y'all ladies doing?
Good. Thank you.
So what y'all lying about tonight?
See, here you go. He's starting over. Hold on. Let me finish paying these bills first.
We're lying about everything.
Oh my God. Book of Ronan says, sadly, most will entertain males who will allow them to nurture the negative narratives that some boyfriends are but emotional band-aids. Damn, that's a fact. And that goes back to what I said about self-work. But again, we're gonna finish reading these. Book of Ronan says again, sadly, most will entertain males. Oh wait, no, I read that one. I read it, bro. Tanya says, leaders know how to see vision and know when to step up and step back and empower those who follow. Facts.
Tanya preaching.
Right.
Yeah. Say, remember, just because you're the coach doesn't mean you're the one who runs for the touchdown. The coach empowers the quarterback to make those calls. It's a fact. Delegation, man. Delegation. Ronan says, so many women will gain access to happiness when they exclude vanity out of their vetting process.
What about me?
That was funny on one of the battle sexes.
He
was like,
does
so
he
why
mean, like,
we
the way
gotta
a
date
man-
ugly people? This shit crazy as hell. AML says over 70% of people date within their social group. If you do not like what you are seeing, then either expand or change your social group. I would agree with that. Tanya again. Tanya got, man, give her a round of applause. Tanya got the bag tonight. That's a fact. Settling isn't a negative thing. Settling is identifying that your wants are not good for you. So you settle for what you need. Say, preach to B. Taylor, Ricky. Hold on one second. Some more that slipped in. Yeah, Tanya been showing love tonight. Shout out to Tanya, man. We appreciate her.
My lady.
Kevon Hayes in the building. He says, see, Peter 3:7, dwell with your woman according to knowledge. Genesis 3:16, your woman naturally desires your headship. Peep the warning. So the best leaders know their nature and the woman's nature. Well said. What done got biblical on y'all. Baby Zaddy in the building. He said, wait, what? The definition of submission is your own. Please explain that one.
I'm lost on it.
I don't know who you're talking to on that one.
I'm lost on that one here.
I
Somebody must have said something.
Submission is your
Oh,
own.
I guess he was just saying, yeah, you explain your definition of submission.
Ah, got you. All right, man. Well, before we go any further, I'm gonna go on and play the clip, man. I'll be reading these comments, and y'all be on our ass. Well, why y'all need to put timestamps up or something? Straight up. So hold on, we gonna play this video, and then I want to get y'all's immediate responses. All right, I'm gonna play it in full, and then we're gonna respond.
Everything. What does that mean?
Run it back.
What does a submissive woman do for her man? Everything. What does that mean? Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning. I know how you are about midday. I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like he's rotten. But I love that. Like I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like that's who I am. Like if I love you, I can heal you. It's your joy. It is my joy. I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
What are you getting from all that you're giving? What are you asking for in return?
All right, I'm going to play it one more time. Just for those who might have got up and went to the bathroom, went to grab something to eat. Y'all might have missed a bit of it. We're going to run it back one more time. Y'all get the likes up right now. Stop what you're doing. Like the video if you have not already. We're going to run it back again.
What does a submissive woman do for her man? Everything. What does that mean? Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning. I know how you are about midday. I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like he's rotten. But I love that. Like I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like that's who I am. Like if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest. So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
What are you getting from all that you're giving? What are you asking for in return?
All right. We've heard it in full multiple times. I just want to get everybody's opinion on it. Everybody do not speak at once. What y'all think about this, man?
I thought it was a great conversation. I will say that. just based off the fact that there were two different perspectives. But I thought that was mind blowing. Some of the comments that were made in terms of what submission is, I don't agree with her definition, and I don't relate to it. But hers was interesting.
Okay, but you know I ain't gonna be able to let you off the hook like that. What part of it specifically did you not agree with? Did you take issue with?
So when she was asked, like, what is her definition of submission, the definition that she said was complete selflessness. And that may be what it is. I don't have the technical definition of submission, but
I do.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Let's it up.
Y'all all studious. Y'all studious this evening. I like it.
I was ready. It's the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. That is the technical definition.
All right, Brittany, you can continue.
So yeah, for me, I just don't agree with the complete selflessness factor, or like abandoning any sense of self to accommodate another person. I think that's really important that you still honor who you are, and you can still serve your partner as they serve you, because that's what you do in a relationship.
Well, she didn't say that was her definition. She said, what does a submissive woman do for her man? And she said, everything.
Did you? Yes. And that to me is a problem. I don't agree with doing everything for your man.
B. Taylor, what do you think about it? I'm definitely interested in hearing what you thought. What was your immediate thoughts?
Y'all saw my face. Okay, there was a lot of like alarming things that she said, and she's mixing up submission with self-pleasing. Not self-pleasing, being a people pleaser. There's a lot of psychology behind what she said. For one, I get happy when I cook a hot meal and my man loves my food. I'm like, yes, thanks, babe. Like, I'm so happy. I don't mind rubbing down my man's back. But she sounds like a woman who completely pours everything out of her cup to fulfill his, leaving herself empty, because we didn't use the part of the clip. We didn't get to the part of the clip where the interviewer asked her,
what did you get out of it
for you? And she goes, she was very hesitant, like he doesn't fulfill her cup as well. So she knows that let's be honest, she's competing for her spot. She's like, what can I do to stand out from all the other women that's competing to be in this position? Because he has money and he has status and opportunity. She's going to go all out to get that spot. Is it something that's realistic to keep up? No, because she's going to drive herself dry and be depleted at the end of the day. She's pouring too much into his cup and not leaving enough for herself. And he's also not fulfilling her cup. So she's just pleasing him as a child. And she's throwing in things of being submissive. For one, she's being way too submissive and she's not a wife. But then again, let's roll it back. She's competing because he does have money and status. She's not going to just do this for any type of guy. She's going to do this because she benefits monetarily from it and she could see a future benefiting from it monetarily as well. So also that he's rotten, and she put a lot of emphasis on him being rotten. What is a rotten child? I think about my kid. When he's spoiled and rotten, he's ungrateful, he's demanding, he doesn't really respect what I do for him. So her calling him rotten is something that's also a red flag. And she's just competing for her spot because she's like, what can I do compared to what his baby mama that he's been with for, I mean, how long has he been with his baby mom? He got like 6 kids, right? And he's been with his baby mom for like 7 years or so. So she's competing against whatever the ex-girlfriend wasn't doing. But she's not fulfilling her own self. She's just being a pleaser. And that's not going to last long.
Man, Ricky, what's your thoughts on this whole submission soliloquy that she went on?
Hey man, I'm just reading the chat and I see a lot of
emotional damage.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing a lot of that out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, keep your tissue, keep your napkins in order, y'all. Keep y'all napkins in, Scott. The truth is, the matter is, she got to compete. That's the point. This is what y'all asked for, right? Big money, 6'5" football player, big dough, right? 8-figure nigga, that's my type, right? Right. So what y'all think she's supposed to do, right? Just sit on her back and do nothing, huh? Just sit back and reap the rewards until she get married and can hit them for 50% of that, huh? I wonder if she'd be so cooperative if it was, you know, Eddie that worked at, you know, the gas station or the
she wouldn't.
Or the utility company.
No,
she wouldn't.
She said, yeah.
So again, like I said, y'all set the tone to this shit. Y'all set the tone to this shit. Y'all know what y'all consider a high value, man. That's what y'all consider high value. Do with money or do with dope. Right? And then wasn't she in a car like a little bit ago talking about don't do this for a man, A, B, C, D, E, F, G and shit?
That was a few years ago, but it's changing when you meet a man of that type of status.
Right. Yeah, them bank accounts make shit look different, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gonna. She's saying it now, y'all. Once she gets that ring and kids, she's not gonna keep that up.
Hey, if you put a price on it, like I said before, you put a price on it. Some people get that dough to pay. What you selling yourself for? What's the cost? I think she being disingenuous. To be honest with you, you know, the modern woman soliloquy that sold for her. You know what I'm saying? She was getting her clicks and getting her money up on social media with that. But now that she finally got into the catbird seat, you know what I'm saying? Now she want to act right. Y'all been lied to. You lied to me. You lied to me. Right? But hey, it's what it is. Hey, Smooth. It's a cold game out here, baby. Tell them.
Real cold. Yeah, real cold. And I feel like all you women being lied to with this submission shit, man. Like, if you being that submissive, what the fuck are you doing for yourself? You know what I'm saying? How are you protecting yourself? Because if a man is getting all the money for you and all you can provide is being a housewife and cleaning up and all that, that's cool. All that's cool. But if he decide to leave like so many men has, what you gonna do? Go back to mom's crib after he done gave you this 6-figure, 7-figure life? You gonna go be a roommate? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I think women need to be, as far as like people hate saying the modern woman, but that's what they need to be, but just dumbing it down to where I know I got to make money for myself, but I can also let a man lead. You know what I'm saying? But doing for myself needs to be priority next to letting a man lead me. Like, I don't need you, but I want you here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how men been treating y'all forever. Like, you don't say nothing to me. I care less if I was out all night. I done spun 3 nights out and all that. Girl, hey, who pay all this? And the moment y'all get to complaining, he kick you out. Like, come on, man. All that submission shit is fake.
But I think that's what you should be doing when you're single. Like, you should be making sure you're educated, doing your career. Like, I don't think the goal should just be, okay, I'm ready to find a husband. I'm 18 now. I think you should be finding out who you are, traveling, like living your life. And then when that man finds you, that's when you submit under his authority. Like, what she said to me was beautiful, but I don't think that those actions are for every man. That is for the one. Like, I wouldn't do all of that for a guy I'm not going to marry. Like, is she just a girlfriend right now?
Yes.
Yeah. So
you know
what she's. No, I don't really follow like fame. I don't get into all. I don't watch television anyway. But what she said wasn't wrong. Like, if that's your husband, absolutely. Like, he needs to be the king of the fucking castle. Like when he comes home, it's respect. It's whatever you need. It's whatever you can do to make his life flow smooth and easy. Like I think you should be doing that for your husband. But just a boyfriend that you don't know where this is going. I get it. You say compete for a spot. Cool, great. But like doing all that is just going to make him not respect her as much, because men like to chase. They like to like feel like the woman they got was valuable. So I don't think you should do all of that for a man. Like there's nothing solid about that. But for your husband, absolutely. I think, yeah. But I don't think like she said, everything is a bit much. It's more like communication. Like, what do you need me to do, honey? How can I make it easier? If he was like, honey, I don't have time. Can you pack my bags? Yeah, I got it. What do you want in the bag? You know, it's not like, oh, I just pack his bags for him. That's a bit. How do you even know what he wants to wear? Like, I read his mind. Cool. I get it. Like if he has a routine, you're like, okay, he likes his tea in the morning. He likes his coffee. He likes his protein shake. He likes his lunch pack. You can do that because you know it'll make his day run smoother. And that's fine, in my opinion. But that's more for a husband. I don't think that's just for any guy. You don't give that to any guy.
But he's not just any guy. He's a multimillionaire.
But there are still things that she had said that were multimillionaire or not.
Yeah.
You putting yourself in that position. At one point they were talking about their sex life and how she was allowing things to take place because he likes it and she don't. And at that point, yes.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but did I just hear a young lady admit to different statuses of man with money breaks the rules?
I mean, let's be honest
No,
here.
I said it shouldn't matter what he has. You shouldn't be doing things in it. Like if you're talking about sexually, I'm letting him perform anal on me because he's a millionaire. That's a problem. That's what I'm
gonna do that.
Women do that. Women do that.
I'm gonna be real and say there's women that's gonna do that. They're gonna do whatever it takes to get out of poverty. They're gonna use whatever they got to get out of poverty. That is their mindset, and that's realistic. Like I know women who don't care if their husband's cheating, beating, or whatever, as long as he is there to provide for her and live and give her a lifestyle that she desires to get out of. Why do you think all these women are signing up to be Nick Cannon baby mama? Because they see potential.
I see it. It's just, to me, it doesn't look or appear to be worth it in the long run for me.
Yeah.
For other people,
it's not worth it in the long run.
No.
For sure.
No.
But see, again, I think it depends on what we say would be worth it. Say like her, she's an influencer. So your relationship, especially to somebody that's high profile, can take you to a whole nother level just based on a relationship alone. Mm-hmm. And let's just be honest here. You know, in terms of the sexual acts that she says that she, you know, does just for him, I agree that's crazy for me. Sex should be pleasurable to both sides. And if it ain't, I don't want to be a part of that shit, if I'm gonna be honest. But if she doesn't indulge in those things, and we just gonna keep it real, she knows how fast that he can replace her for not wanting to. So you have a situation where she trying to hold on to that bag for dear life. Yeah. If anybody was familiar with Watch Jazzy before this relationship, her whole demeanor was different.
Yeah, it was.
And let's just keep it real. Cam ain't that solid of a nigga to just change your whole personality for. Let's just be honest. Now he got money. I give him that. But in terms of his track record with women, his track record with kids, all types of shit, if anybody, and I hate talking like, because I don't like hating on a nigga. I don't like talking down. But just facts are facts. He's not the type of man that would make you do a 360 like a Russell Wilson or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the situation I can understand. But when you bag hungry, when you're trying to get to that money, people will accept themselves to any damn thing. And this is a perfect example of it. She literally sounds like she practiced this speech in the mirror before she came on the stage. And that's why I was saying, like, going back to what Ricky said about it being disingenuous. I know when somebody lying. She's lying.
Yeah,
in terms of all of this that I do I'm willing to, I do this, I do that. But no, she said that's because she's supposed to. She's in a relationship. She want to make the man look good. He been getting drugged through the fucking mud in terms of his character and integrity and all type of shit. But if she come on here talking good about him, then that's gonna boost his stock as well. So again, it's a whole play behind this shit.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. But wait, real quick before you do, everybody stop what y'all doing. Like the video. I told y'all it's a 200-person variance between the views and the likes, and y'all
Come
know
on,
we
man.
don't
The
even give
dean
it
in
up
here,
like
man.
that.
God damn, man.
Stop what y'all. I will press the power button and turn this shit off right now. Y'all don't get them likes up, man. Everybody stop what y'all doing. Like the pod. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. Kayla, what up?
Kayla!
Yeah, Kayla in the building, man. Kayla got to come up here. She must be tied up doing something. But
we're gonna start later and later every time. We'll start later and later. Push it back on y'all. Keep resetting the time on them.
That's a fact. But yeah, go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead, ask a question. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I forgot my question. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it's all good. Okay, well, just real quick, just think of it.
I should have wrote it.
Pay some bills in the process. Bless in the building. He says, do black men have a quote unquote coming to America complex? What is the coming to America complex?
What is that? You're gonna have to give me a little bit more than that, Blessing.
Yeah, big
That's
dog.
one of my favorite movies too.
They gonna come over and find their queen? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, send us a bit more clarity.
Yeah, they more clarification.
Shout out to Free Reese.
Come on, man.
In the building. Say y'all submit to y'all boss at work every day. Y'all submit to the police. Y'all submit to the government. Don't act like submission is such an impossible task. Jesus Christ. Jam 4777. The relationship between man and wife is supposed to mirror Christ in the church. Is conditional submission the proper way for the church to act?
No. I actually have that scripture pulled up. I was going to read it.
Ooh.
My marriage do not mirror no Christ in church. Get out of here.
Here we go. Next question. We not doing that. We not, because I already know where you going. We ain't doing that. Shout out to everybody that's religious. Shout out to the Christians and everybody.
Man, I love y'all. Man, I love y'all religious people.
But we ain't gonna let Smooth do it because I know where you going. Angelina says, when do everything women do everything but get their own bag?
Women get their own bags, Angelina.
They do. The problem is right now.
To stop focusing on a bag and start focusing on relationships because we're too focused on our bag.
No, women that get to that money have the same problem that a man has when he got the money already. You don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
Money put holes in you, and people don't understand that till they start making some money and people start asking you for shit. You know what I'm saying? And you see what people it attract. Like when y'all see that, I know everybody know a nerd that they grew up with, you know what I'm saying, was just nobody. But what he was doing in that corner, he was working, putting that work in. And the moment he got that bread, his life changed. Because all you need is one. All you need is one bad one around you. It's gonna get the rest, right? So in a sense, if his lady didn't come along while he was building, that man that should have been a married man and took off the table and all that, the moment he got some money and became powerful, he became a future. Because now my inner ego has took over. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all I can do whatever. I can do all this shit. I'm gonna show y'all I can buy the biggest yacht out here. You know what I'm saying? I can show y'all I'm gonna put 20 women on here and I mess with half of them. That's what they do.
That's what my ex did.
See, we ain't doing that. We taking personal shots up here. Shout out to bro. I gotta ride for the fellas. I can't let that slide, man. Shout out to bro, man. Ronan says, you heard it right, Smooth. Today's femininity can be rented, leased, and financed with a cosign at 87.9%. That's hilarious.
The issue is the money, man. I've been saying this forever, bro. I'm telling you, the bag will be a death for you bitches. Y'all think it's a game.
The priest says, like the damn stream with y'all ugly ass. That's a like
I like
the
how you
stream,
spell ugly
man.
ass.
I don't know what time it is in this motherfucker, man. I think it's like 100 difference now. So y'all doing better, but keep it going, man. Everybody keep on liking if y'all ain't liked already.
50 more.
That's a fact. Sonny Robinson says, shout out to Cam Newton for showing us black man on how to break a modern day woman. Jesus
you ain't no
Christ.
Church.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
I hear you, my dog. I hear you. Trust me, I hear you.
Don't even Cam Newton having his network though.
See, The real Elise says women and men love the bag so much that they forgot how to love each other. That's a fact. That is a fact. Okay, so just to kind of redirect the conversation, but not quite redirect it. We done kind of alluded to money in terms of the impact it has on a woman's willingness to submit. So I want to ask y'all, how important is that bag? We done sat on this panel and we done talked about integrity and morals and a man being upstanding and all of those nice, pretty, adjectives. But how important is that bag to a woman's willingness to submit?
It's all depending on the woman. That's just the truth of the matter. It's all depending on the woman. I don't think your bag dictates leadership. I know idiots that got money.
And there's a lot of women who deal with men with money, and they were the ones that were like, oh yeah, I need a man with money. I'm only going to deal with that. And then they get it, and the man doesn't know how to like emotionally fulfill their needs, or maybe he's physically abusive. And so then it becomes like, well, I just want a man. I'm going to prioritize how a man treats me and hopefully be able to build with him to get to a place where whatever he is the leader or all those things. But it's not, money is not everything. And you see that once you see the other end of the spectrum.
That comes with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm part of a Facebook group where like it's hypergamous Facebook group, and women, they talk to men that are married. They don't care. They don't care about none of that. They're like, long as he's paying my bills, long as he's buying me bags, I'm good. As long as he's paying for things, paying for trips, and see me when he's not with his wife, I'm good. I was like, what? Like, I'm only part of it just to observe like how these women are moving. So I'm not surprised. And I keep bringing up Nick Cannon because everybody's like, why do these women keep getting pregnant? I'm like, well, if men could get pregnant by Oprah, I'm pretty sure men would be lining up getting pregnant by Oprah.
Get into that bag.
Because they're going to want security. People in this world want security. There's a hierarchy that everybody's trying to climb. Influencers, businessmen, 9-to-5ers, everybody's trying to climb this hierarchy. And some people can cheat their way by using what they got to get what they want, somebody who's already at the top. And women have an advantage because men who are at the top can choose a woman who's not on his level and status and be okay with that. So there's
women not gonna do that.
Huh?
Women not gonna do that. That's why a lot of women with money are single.
That's not built in us. We want to go higher when that. So men do envy that. I feel like men get mad at women because they do have a disadvantage when it comes down to opportunity. That's why they get mad. But like I said, if Oprah can put men pregnant, you know how many men would be lining up trying to get pregnant by her? He's a whole billionaire.
That's a big what if. But anyway, like I keep saying, like money is a tool, man. I like if you put too much, I don't care what nobody said. If you put too much emphasis on anything, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem. It's just like weed is just like coke. If money is that's it. Money. You fucking up the game. Mm-hmm. It's a tool to get what you need. The reason why you niggas with money can't get nobody correct because the money changes the perception of you.
Exactly.
Yeah. We talked about this on Lil P Flex Talk. You can't come up to no woman talking about, you can say it, but she's still gonna look at you funny. You pull up in a $200,000 Benz and you say, oh, we going to Waffle House.
She gonna be willing to go.
For how long? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But her perception of you is different. It ain't you that's the distraction. The money is the distraction. It's the same with the ladies. Because you got the bag and you got the money, that's your focus. You so intent on that getting taken advantage of, or that money you work for getting ripped out for you with some dude that ain't worth nothing. So you looking at every dude funny and vice versa for the men. Mm-hmm. The money is the distraction. But that's what you niggas do. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the bag and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what a person really about and what they bring into your life. You know what I'm saying? You fucking with my money.
That's why, B, I don't agree when you say broke people shouldn't be dating. That's where you find the love at. When you ain't got nothing, but you cannot have nothing to be a bum. I'm not saying them. I'm saying the ones that's working toward, like you see them putting in that work and you know they're gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? Because all that being successful is timing. You know what I'm saying? It's timing. If you miss your window, you just miss your window. You get what I'm saying? So if you got the time down and you putting the work in and you stepping in the right places, eventually you gonna get to where you got to get to. The problem is most people just want to be at the top, nothing in the middle. You get what I'm saying?
You
like
know why,
huh?
Because a lot of people they're scared to believe that person's going to get there. And they're taking a risk and wasting these years waiting for this person to get there because they don't even believe that they can get there. You know, they don't believe in themselves. So how can I believe in somebody else? And also, we hear the fear mongering stories that once he gets to the top, what do most men do? We see examples of men with their high school sweetheart being with the ride or die woman and leaving her behind once he gets successful. Jesse, what was his name? The actor Jesse.
Jesse did it. Jeff
Jesse
Bezos did it. What's his name? Bill Gates did it.
Kevin Hart did it.
All these people do it, right?
So
But
we like, okay, well, if y'all doing a Build-A-Bear woman like that, we might as well be the woman that benefits from everything because y'all drag her through and then leave her for that woman. So we'd rather be that woman than the woman that get dragged through the mud and get left behind.
But with all them men we just named, you can look at their track history. Their integrity isn't there.
Really?
Ricky just said you can have money and be a fucking idiot and be a monster and all that. And all of them men is, right? But we can also look at LeBron. He stayed with his woman. You get what I'm saying? Because he's a solid dude. Morally, I'm solid. And a lot of women don't understand, like, a man with morals, even if he's broke, if his morals are intact, he can hit the lottery or be successful the next day. Nothing is going to change. Your lifestyle and house and cars is going to change, but his moral code will never change. These men are not like that. Them other men are not like that. And women have a problem with seeing that. All they see is, oh, he gonna be there, or oh, I see this in him, I see this in him. And then when he get there, he looking at you like, oh, I can do better than you.
But men, the options that they have, right? Men, I've been told this by many men. Men cheat as many options that they have.
I would disagree because I think it kind of depends on the experience. I think a lot of times men get their options later. So that curiosity is always there. When I was making 20,000, there was a select few women available to me. But now that I'm making 200, it's a different amount of women. So I hadn't got to experience those women yet. So now that's when my curiosity peaks compared to if a dude and he came out the gate making 100, or he came out the gate, went straight to the league or to the NFL, whatever. So he didn't experience as many bad women as one man could experience in a lifetime. So it's not as intriguing to him. So again, I think it all depends on experience. But going back to what Smooth said about my statement, and the reason that I stand by that, I think that you have a point. But the reason I say that is because the potential for it to go left. I'm a type of nigga, I move based on potential. And I done seen, not potential, percentage. I done seen people literally throw their careers away to stay for a relationship. I done seen women say, okay, well, I'm not going to go to this school, this better school, because I got a boyfriend in this city. So I'm going to just go to a bullshit ass school so we can stay together. I done seen men, literally, my grandpa being one, bypass the NFL because I want to stay in Port Arthur and be with my wife and raise a family, right? So when I say that broke people shouldn't date, I'm saying it because dating is a distraction. It is. We can sit here and gloss around it in terms of like when you're trying to chase something, when you're trying to build something, when you say, for instance, somebody trying to start a business, especially as a man, women require a certain amount of time, energy, and effort that it's going to be impossible for you to give her all that she needs and for you to build your business at peak efficiency. So something is going to have to suffer. And more times than not, the business suffers, the goal suffers, the career suffers. So my take on that is broke people shouldn't be dating. They should be focusing, meaning go hard, get where you got to get to. and then you can think about trying to get a relationship. But if you're trying to do both at the same time, not saying it can't happen, but the percentage of you getting detoured and sidetracked is higher than you getting to your career goal or your goal at peak efficiency. That's all I'm saying.
That's a man trying to finesse. You know what I'm saying? I've been y'all been knowing me. My morals been intact since I've been a young nigga. You get what I'm saying? Me and my wife met each other, didn't have nothing. Nothing. I didn't have no car. I was walking to work. They'll tell you I was walking to work. You get what I'm saying? My wife seen it in me though. And I seen the hustle in my wife. Me, I gotta have a woman that's a hustler. I got to. Because I think more of my kids, and I think about if I die today, where's my wife gonna be? You get what I'm saying? And let's just face it, most people these days, we only can afford about $500,000, maybe 100,000 for most people, but me and my wife, we can afford a lot more than that. But $500,000 ain't shit. You get what I'm saying? That ain't shit when you ain't been doing nothing. For your other side ain't been doing nothing, ain't been really working. She's been working, or he's been working some iffy jobs. You get what I'm saying? So I need somebody that's gonna be a hustler. And that's how I feel men need to look at it too. Like, hey, baby, I don't need too much from you right now. We got something we gotta build. When we get there, then we can do all that. I love you to death, but I have to do this for us so we don't have no problems in the future. Why? Because the main reason why people get divorced is money. Lower people get divorced is because of some damn money. You take if y'all both grinding and get to the moment somebody land a $50,000 job and the other person land a $30,000, $40,000, that's 80 racks. We can live a little bit comfortable with that.
No, so let me ask you, because you sound like the modern man, right? And a lot of men who think like you, there's nothing wrong with it. But then you say your wife is a hustler, right?
Big hustler.
So she's working just as hard as you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of men want to come home and expect their wife to do housewife duties along with hustling and tired just like you. And I think that's the problem, where women are finding we're working just as hard as a lot of men, and y'all still expect us to come home and be intimate, take care of the kids, clean, cook, do all these things and submit to you and listen to your problems, but where is she being fulfilled? So I think a lot of men are also missing that point. It's like y'all are putting a lot on a lot of women and be wondering why she's nagging and going off randomly, or she's not in the mood anymore because she's too tired. And you're like, dang, she's not feeling her duties as a wife. So what do you say to that? Like, how do y'all work that out?
That's an excuse. I say it's an excuse.
Exactly. That's an excuse.
Because I got you, Smooth. Right. The truth of the matter is the same way you out there grinding, he grinding. Right. Yeah, he expect you to cook dinner, but you expect him to fix the car, cut the yard,
take out the trash,
make sure the basement in order.
Listen to you, Vent.
Honeydews.
Right. It's a fucking excuse.
I don't even know how to fix a car or change the oil.
Hey, and B. Taylor, I'm a simple guy.
There you go.
I don't give it. Like 2 years ago, me and my wife went a whole year, maybe cooked 3 times. Maybe. That shit don't bother me. That's petty, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's good, because there's men that don't think like that. They're like, nah, you need to come in here and cook and clean. This house need to be like this and tidy. And she's working probably 40 plus hours just like you, but you're not pulling the weight that she's doing. Yeah, there's maybe things around the house that you can do. Taking out the trash takes 5 seconds, but cooking the dinner takes an hour. And it takes a lot of effort and love to put in that, and making sure the food is not burnt, making sure the kids are clean and in bed.
I do all that too, though, in my relationship.
That's a responsibility on the couple to make sure that you're having those conversations about duties and things like that. Because if I'm going to work all day, you're going to work all day, and then we get home, we both have to maintain the house. We both
and
have
that's
to
the modern relationship. And a lot of men want to be traditional, but they're not traditional men. They're modern men complaining about modern women, and modern women complaining about modern men. And it's like, hey, we can't do traditional things anymore because everybody's working 40 plus hours. Therefore, we all got a duty to do. And yes, that's going to mean you're going to have to be cooking some nights. That means you're going to have to be taking care of the kids, and I'm gonna take out the trash. A lot of men don't like that. They want to say, "No, not a partnership. You're not my partner. You're supposed to submit to me." That's where men get submission mixed up, and women are like, "I just want a partner," because these are different times, and I think a lot of people are not realizing or accepting that. Because a lot of people are not in a position to be traditional because they're not making that income.
Exactly.
Rest in her femininity and be a housewife in 2022.
Submission, in my opinion, these days, modern times, how we live in, the way shit costs and all. The moment you step in middle class, what is that? What, 42,000? That's 42,000, right? When you're in middle class.
I know that's the like average income. I'm not sure if that's middle class.
But from the US, they call it middle class, right? Because you don't get no government assistance, right? You can't get food stamps, you can't get Section 8, you can't get none of that because you over the threshold, right? Somebody look that up. Otis, you know you like looking shit up.
Everybody in the chat, man. Let us know what classifies as middle class.
But with that,
you're
I look
correct.
at it.
It's once you make over 50 grand.
You get what I'm saying?
That's when your tax bracket's up, then you have to
over 50 grand
getting a tax return.
I don't think it's 50 because the medium is 42.
Okay, where's the point where you have to pay taxes and you no longer get a tax return? Isn't that 50 grand?
No, that could be 40, but you by yourself.
Okay.
It all depends on what you're taking out too.
Both making 50 each.
Oh, somebody done put in there. It's like 52,000 to 156. It's considered middle class for household income. Household income.
So that's no help. That's nothing. You have to do everything. I'm talking doctor's appointments, fucking car, house, hell, cutting the grass costs money. Goddamn me, all this shit costs a lot of money, bro. And people be like, oh, like you just said, men be like, oh, why you ain't did all? Why you ain't did this? Why you ain't did that? That's bullshit, niggas, man.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of men out there that's listening to alpha men who are making a certain money and status, and they're not. They're making probably what average men make and still trying to demand these things from a woman, but want her to work just as hard. I've seen it growing up. Like my grandparents were very traditional, but when my grandmother started working again, she was angry, serving dinner because she was so tired from work. And he's like, oh, I'm hungry. What am I supposed to eat? And she had to like get up, force herself to make dinner and serve everyone and put herself last. She was tired.
Your grandmother came up in a different generation, so I see why that man was mad. Right, I understand their generation, but our generation, that submission shit is reserved for the rich. That's just how it works these days.
It should be partnership for the modern relationship. But a lot of men and your viewers, and you can see by the comments, they're not getting it. They're saying, "Oh, cooking's a job." Do y'all even know how to cook? Like I didn't cook a full course meal tonight. Like it takes a lot when you actually cook more than just spaghetti and Alfredo. So
I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree that submission is just for the rich. I think submission is for your husband. And I also don't agree with making dinner isn't submission. That's not what submitting.
Dinner isn't submission.
That's not what submitting is. It is yielding to the superior authority. So if we're talking about the actual definition of submission. But I also think it can be a communication, which is what I don't think a lot of couples do. You can have this thought process of, oh yeah, she's a woman, she's supposed to cook. If she can't, maybe have a conversation. Hey, babe, can you cook tonight? I already put everything together. Can you just like start it, or it's in a crock pot? Like communication, so you can make it work. If both of you work a full-time job, you're both 40 hours. Can I cook Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you cook Tuesday, Thursday? Like it doesn't have. It can be sandwiches. Like it doesn't have to be a full course meal. Yeah, it can. But I think it's a conversation. It's not like, okay, now I have to cut the onions and the peppers and ground the beef, and like it doesn't have to be all of that. Yes, that's hours, and there's cleanup, and then there's children, and then there's homework, and there's ironing clothes, like all this stuff. It's a lot. But I also think that there's communication that can be had to make it work. It's not this. I worked 40 hours and now I'm a slave at home too. Mm-hmm. I don't think it has to be like that. It's like,
doesn't have to, but a lot of men are trying to push that on women to make that a normal thing. To do
but I do think, like, for example, if my husband was like, I prefer a home cooked meal. I'd be like, okay, Sunday, I'm going to prep for the week. It's going to be cooked, but you'll have to warm it up. Like if I work a full-time job.
What if he's like, I want a fresh cooked meal every night because I work so hard. I don't want no microwave meal. I want
to be more
well,
realistic.
you need to tell him you need to make more money.
It's unrealistic.
Just keep it a buck with him. Hey, you want all that? This is our standard of living. If you make my salary too, then we can discuss that.
But I also think that a man that really, your husband, a man that really cares about you, he'll be willing to work with you. It's not like he's hiring a cook and a clean. You're not a maid. You're his wife. You're the woman he chose to do life with. So I don't think, if he truly cares for you, I don't think it'll be a problem. Like, okay, honey, I'm going to try to make sure I honor your request. Oh, you didn't cook on Wednesday. I asked for a fresh meal. I don't think it's like that. That's more like a domineering man.
Hey,
I'm about to say something real quick. Yeah. Taylor. So are you saying, I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Are you saying that there are men who are like out here just demanding that a woman be submissive?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna agree with you, but I feel like that's a smaller percentage than what you think it is. Because with today's modern men, I feel a lot of us understand the stuff that a lot of women have gone through in the past. So today, if you want to be honest, there are a lot of women who don't know how to cook, period. A lot of men I know cook. A lot of men I know clean. Like a lot of the little duties that a woman would do, a lot of men, because they've been living on their own for so long, they know how to wash clothes. They know how to fold them, put them up. You go to their crib, it's always clean. So I think a lot of men understand those roles and are performing those roles, but maybe it's a loud group of those men that's doing it. But I wouldn't say that that's the majority of men, because you got a lot of men out here that's dual. I mean, Smooth and Ant, for example, prime example, like they take care of their kids, you know what I'm saying? They let their wife, whenever their wife work long hours, they handling stuff on the backside and they get on the podcast doing stuff. So they juggling many things, and it's not just them. I got a lot of friends I can use examples of similar to that. So I feel a lot of guys out here busting their ass too to make things, you know, on a even, not want to say more even playing field, but just more understanding and working together as a team.
I agree. That's my situation. I mean, like, he's respecting the fact that I'm doing this podcast, so he's taking care of the baby right now. Like, I mean, he has night duties where he's like, I know you're tired. I'm gonna take care of little one all night for you. Don't worry about it. Get some sleep. I'm just saying what I'm hearing, and maybe social media, and I'm realizing it, that everybody that's saying one thing on social media plus these comments, they're not really living that life. And they're saying a lot of things, and what a lot of people are so caught up on social media, they're starting to think that that's reality.
You know what I think, man, that I see, and people message me and all that type of stuff, and I give them, I'm like, a lot of us are selfish, right? A lot of us, like, we only want to see what's on our side of the table. That's it. I was never like that. I'm the type of person, I get up from the table, look at how my decision and my actions is going to affect everything, and then I'll make my move, right? So I'm a man, and I know most men would never do what that I'm about to tell y'all, right? My wife got the job that she has now, right? Which is a hell of a good job, make a lot of fucking money. But the job I had, I was working 7 months and 8 days straight. You get what I'm saying? And I was making big money, big bread. But with her getting that job, she's working 12 hours. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes she may work if it's 30 days in a month, she may work 28 of them days, right? That was a conflict with me, her, and my son. You get what I'm saying? So we was like, all right, let's look into getting a nanny and all this type of stuff. We seen what it costs and all that type of stuff. So I was like, nah, and she wasn't gonna take it. She was gonna leave the job. I'm not built like that. This is your dream job. I understand men die in marriages, men die first most of the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a high percentage, right? So I'm like, look, take that job. I'll get something else. You get what I'm saying? Because my wife would tell I'm a big hustler. My boys would tell I'm a big hustler. I'm gonna get in spaces. You get what I'm saying? So when my wife took that, she was like, damn, what you gonna do? Damn, put it together in 2 months. I'm good. A lot of men would not do that. They'd have made their wife or their girl step away from that. Like B said, like they don't want, they sacrifice their goals to be in this relationship. I don't want you to sacrifice nothing. Let me do it all. I'm gonna lead the ship. Goddamn me. All I need you to do is hold up your end. A lot of men not built like that. You get a lot of men want to be the money dominant, the power dominant, and all that type of stuff. I don't care about none of that. As long as my household is healthy, and that's what I think as far as black people we need to get to, because we don't have no wealth. We don't have no wealth. You get what I'm saying? And if more of us did that, you get what I'm saying? We'll start accumulating shit and be respected as a unit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's way too many men out here that's actually competing with their women. Even if it's not blatant, if it's not in your face, they do it subconsciously. I've literally like seen women say, "Hey, yeah, I'm up for this promotion." Like people write into us all the time, "Hey, I'm up for this promotion, but my man kind of doubting whether or not I should take it." And it's just like, what? Like as a man, like your ego is that sensitive to where if she gets this new job making more than you feel like you ain't gonna be able to deal with it, you ain't gonna be able to handle it. If anything, if I'm in that situation, don't shortstop shit for me. My wife went to go get her master. Hell yeah, you go get that master's. Hell yeah, you trying to apply for it. You go get all of that. I'm gonna be good. I'm a hustler. I'm gonna figure it out in terms of getting to where I need to get to. But as far as short stopping your wife grind out of ego or your girl grind out of ego, that's some shit that I just cannot wrap my head around, and it happens way more than a lot of men are willing to admit. Because let's just be honest here. Men are measured in terms of our worth by our income. So what that does is that creates a very, very sensitive ego in terms of like when your girl, like you may have a dude meet a girl and she making 30,000 less than him, and they the happiest couple in the world, but she get that promotion and clear 100, and he's still at 70. A lot of times in them situations, resentment will slowly start to build. And it'll be little shit. It ain't gonna be blatant. It ain't gonna be, oh, I can't believe you took that. It's gonna be little shit because his ego is hurt. Because men are so defined by money, defined by our income instead of integrity and morals and shit.
I got pushback on this one when you done, bro.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so again, I done seen it with my own eyes, and a lot of dudes will try to like act like it ain't that. But giving subtle hints and shit that you just that shit is kind of affecting your role in terms of being at the top of the totem pole, and that's something that ain't spoke on enough. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I got pushback on that. If we talking about the dynamics of how it usually goes, I believe one of you fellas said at the beginning of this cast that a woman, whenever she gets money, she wants a man making more what she makes or more. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So again, I think this really depends. I don't want to say this is a massive phenomenon because it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like Smooth, like y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It depends on your lady. That's why I say it's all about the choice too. Right? It's all about the choices. You see what I'm saying? And I look at it like this, bro. Like everybody talking about dough. Yeah, you need dough, but I'm willing to sacrifice whatever I gotta do to make sure my house is taken care of. Right. So the big difference is that a lot of women, y'all say y'all want that 50-50 partner, but y'all really don't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want that dude to pay the majority of the bill so you can go out when you want to go out, float how you want to float, buy shoes when you want to buy shoes. That's why I say the sacrifice. A man got to understand that the stability of his house is his number one priority. The family got to have a place to be at all times. And if that means you working and you making 80K and all that going to bills and majority of investments, that's just what it is. Somebody got to be responsible for that. Somebody has to be responsible for that. That's why I keep trying to say ain't no 50-50. Ain't really no 50-50 in a relationships. It's a 50-50 of an understanding. You see what I'm saying? But somebody always putting in more weight than the other person. Always. Always. And like I said, women, y'all be acting like y'all don't see that shit.
You don't think it should be 100?
No,
like,
yeah, I don't mean, I'm talking about it. I think it,
like
I don't mean it like that. I know what you're saying, but I'm talking about how you have, I'm gonna give 110%. You know what I'm saying? Into my home, right? But what I'm saying is that when these people go into a relationship saying, okay, you pay half of the rent, I'm gonna pay half of the rent. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay my car note, you pay your car note. Nah, that's bullshit.
Roommate. That's not a husband. That's a roommate.
All right, that's bullshit.
Hey, girl, I've been doing that my whole marriage.
Yeah, but that works for some people. Maybe that I used to talk like that, and I realized I was offending a lot of people, and I feel like I needed to stop trying to knock how others are living, because you'll never know if you're going to end up in that situation paying 50-50 because you lost your job or he lost his job and then he gets another job that don't pay that much. So we also need to be careful how we're judging other people, how they're living, because we may end up being that example.
You know,
laid off, all types of things happen.
Yeah, if that's the case though, then at that point, you know what I'm saying? If that's the point, then like I said, I don't make those excuses. Should I work 2 jobs for fucking 8 years, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's about me holding up, like Smooth said, holding up my end of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's something y'all had understanding from
right,
the start.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the saying that, you know, a man, if a chick calling in saying, oh, hey, you know, my man denied this, because what type of woman is that? Is she the type of woman that'll hold money over his head? Is she the type that's super hypergamous, and when she finally gets some money and she finally making more than him, she be like, oh, look at me, da da da, woo woo, and she acting funny? You see what I'm saying? That's why I say it come down to the choices of the people you with, right? Money plays no part in my decision with my wife. It plays no part. I don't care about no money. I don't care, bro. Long as our house is straight, what it need to get done. And people talking about, people still fix on cars. Y'all stupid, man. That's y'all problem. Y'all just be throwing money away and shit when you can change brakes in the driveway.
But people don't know how to do that. Where you learn how to change a brake?
I'm a grown ass man.
Where did you learn?
You go to YouTube.
I learned. I ain't had no YouTube.
Right. So where did you learn?
Learned it from the crib. Oil.
There's a lot of grown men that don't know how to do that. So I'm saying, who taught you? Because a lot of men didn't grow up with their father.
I had a sorry stepdad. All he knew how to do is just work on cars. I swear to God, that's his greatest gift.
I taught myself. I taught myself. When you break some shit, you figure it out. Right? Again, like I said, y'all, this generation now, the smartest dummies in the world.
That's a fact.
That's true.
That's a fact.
Or just the smartest, laziest motherfucker in the world. Gonna be honest, because there's so many different outlets that'll give you what you need tool wise. You can literally go to YouTube, learn how to do anything. There is no excuse for ignorance.
How to change your tire.
Yeah. So
see, my relationship, we work on 50-50, man. We've been going 50-50 since I met my wife. You know what I'm saying? And my wife will tell
when you took her out on her first date, you were like, we're gonna go Dutch.
When we went on our first date, I don't even remember that.
She paid. You told us.
Hey, she probably did. My wife probably paid, bro.
Okay, speaking of, I want to use you an example, Smooth, because it obviously worked out for you. And I want to go back on previous conversations Ricky has said about choosing better and women having discernment. Because your wife, Smooth, took a chance on you and it worked out for you, right? It worked out for both of you guys. There's a lot of women who also take a chance because they also see potential on that same man. And then the world turns around and laugh at that woman for believing in that man.
You know why?
Wait. Hold on 1 second, because I'm just about to get into a very deep conversation. We got to pay bills real quick.
Hold that.
Everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all. The chat rocking, man. Y'all some funny motherfuckers. I swear. Stop what y'all doing, man. Like the video. If y'all haven't liked it already, we got to pay some bills real quick. John the Baptist says the bag is the same downfall that tricked Eve in the garden. That's real shit. Sonny says all the women talking junk about Jazzy will be lined up to sleep in Cam's bed as she steps 1 foot out the door.
And rub his back till you fall asleep.
Like,
Kayla says character is important, but it's not intentional. It's clinical because I'm allergic to broke.
Y'all be safe.
The real Leezy says most of us black men and women start off with our personalities, integrity, character, etc. That's who we are from the jump. Money changes the core of who we are. I would agree with that. Resonating Soul says money is a tool for obtaining further resources. Ladies, pay attention to what he is obtaining: cars, jewelry, or land and property, guns and butter. Shout out to Melvin on Baby Boy.
That's
Y'all know
a
about that. We want a provider who wants a legacy, right? Well said. Morgan Danae says, what amount of money is not broke? That's a great question. Let's go around the panel real quick. Just quick answers. We don't need no soliloquies. Quick answers. What number is not broke?
Anything above your lifestyle.
that yeah.
I agree. You can support yourself and take care of yourself and have money to date and
need a number.
What's the number?
It depends on where you live.
I knew y'all was gonna do
for
that.
me, I got a number for y'all. For me, how I'm living today, I need at least 200,000 in the household. In the household, you get it? And what I mean by in the household, as far as like to make everything run, like the house, my son comfortable, my wife want to take trips, we eat out a lot. You get what I'm saying? Like this shit costs. My wife just like for a long time, my wife didn't like Louis bags and Chanel. She never let me buy that shit. Never. Just recently, maybe a year ago, you get what I'm saying? Like I caught her looking at them bags. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, you ready now? She like, yeah. So we start buying them things. You get what I'm saying? But we got to the level to like with me looking back on it, my wife is a big numbers person. We finally got to the point to where we can buy them things and it won't hurt us. We can buy them and just go to sleep. A lot of people don't do that. They buy it and be like, damn, how I'm gonna pay this bill? Let me push back this car note to the next month and all that. We ain't doing none of that over here. You know what I'm saying? Everything is smart and based on like what's in our premises to do. You get what I'm saying? But we don't have the same bank account. We don't share a bank account. We go half on everything, and it don't bother us at all, like at all. And I know a lot of women are like they shook from that. I'm not going 50-50 with no man. Well, if you was living by yourself, you got to go 100 with yourself. If I'm taking 50% of the weight off of you, you can save 50% of your money and do whatever the hell you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell my wife all the time, once I done paid the bills, if my account go to zero, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go live my life. Because when they bury me, I don't want nobody crying. I didn't live to the fullest out here. I done did everything. I want y'all to pop some bottles. Goddamn me, put the balloon. Hell, don't even waste the time with the funeral. That's too much money anyway. Go blow that cash. You know? That's how I am. But a lot of people not like that.
Hi, man. I told y'all no soliloquies. He broke the goddamn rule.
Anyway. Shout outs. We're doing shout outs.
And living in Houston, I'll be realistic. If a man was making $60K, I guess that's fine. Like no kids, of course, or just a single man. I think that's enough to take care of himself in this in travel and stuff.
60K. Okay. I ain't going. We ain't gonna belabor it. See Anthony Johnson. Shout out to bro. Partners are 50-50 all the time. Not sometimes. Not when you feel like it, but all the time. It's 50-50. Well said. Michael Newell. Appreciate you with the big 50 piece. That's love, bro. Bro brought the 50 piece through. The problem is when women make money, they think their roles as women stop. It doesn't. Just like when men grind, we still have to do our roles. You do too. It's called the 5 Ps. Yeah, I think Ricky touched on that earlier in terms of, again, just because we working hard in a motherfucker don't mean that when we get home we get to use that as an excuse for us to not do whatever our duties are, whatever our agreed upon duties are. Because today, again, gender roles are so all over the place. But whatever our agreed upon roles are, we don't get to take off for that and claim we just tired from work. It don't work like that. Shout out to Coco. She say picking correctly, compromise, and submission allows women to cultivate and men to lead a relationship. So we need to fall in line as women. Right. All right, Tanya, back again. She say broke guys can date, yes, but broke guys don't deserve no stuff. Don't deserve no ass. That's a fact. I would agree with that because you don't need to be thinking about ass. You need to be getting to that cash. It's going crazy as hell. Baby Zaddy says when your pocket's broke like your car, you learn to turn a wrench real quick.
That's a fact.
Fact.
Young gun out here. Shit.
That's a fact. Yeah.
It's Michael Newell again. You say facts. Only 9% of women make over 70K a year. Stop the cap. Roles still have to be addressed. Period. Gender roles still apply. Plan, plot, strategize. Excuses don't excuse explanations. Don't explain.
Bruh.
Where you get that number from?
See,
Google, man. People researching, baby. People researching.
In what year though? Because that
the day.
See, looking for wiggle room.
Just gonna fight to the death, huh? Just scratching, going to the grave. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs.
That's a fact. Hold tight. That's another one I might have missed. I ain't trying to miss nobody. Baby Zaddy say, baby B Taylor, you too fine for 60K. See, these boys be shooting they shot from half court, boy.
Never stop, boy.
That is a taken woman. Be respectful.
But B Taylor, back to like the women and they wasting their time. They wasted their time on some potential. That's the problem. They're most women to see potential in a guy, and no matter what you see, if he not working towards that, all that, and that's where women go wrong. Okay. I just see you being he may be a nice guy, but nice guys being a nice person don't pay no bills. It don't change your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like that does nothing for you. So if I was a woman, I would be looking for potential, cool, but are you working towards that? Everything that you telling me, I need to see you putting that work in. You get what I'm saying? And I need to see you putting it in when the shit first start going, because that's gonna let me know if you a runner. You get what I'm saying? If you go ask your parents for everything, if you asking your friends for everything, I need to know all that, because that's gonna let me know if you're gonna fold or you're gonna stand 10 toes down out here. You know what I'm saying? And that be the problem. Women only look at potential. They don't look at the work. You get what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at the work, because the work gonna tell you if he gonna follow through with this potential.
And just to piggyback off of that, that is 1,000% true. If you only see him being something, but he doesn't see it or doesn't believe in himself enough to execute whatever you think he may become, it doesn't matter. It's null and void. He'll never become that because it's just in your head and not in his actions of what he's doing and who he's becoming. And even if he doesn't have a ton of money, you can still see in the behaviors, but how he shows up for himself, how he shows up to the things that he's committed to or at least interested in. Is he exerting all his energy, or is he passionate about it? Is he is he being mindful? All of those things help you understand who this person would be or could potentially be once they have money, but potential shouldn't be a factor in your choice.
Hey, and that needs to be in women too. Like you watching this man work, what you doing? You get what I'm saying? Because my whole time I was putting my hustle in, getting this shit together, I was also, hey baby, look, you need to be doing this. Hey babe, I'm pushing you to this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Hey, what's up? What we doing? You know, I tell my wife all the time, your degree is my degree too, because I helped you get there. I done wrote a lot of shit for you. I done did a lot of tests for you. You get what I'm saying?
Well, and there's beauty in that because you know where each other come from, you know where you're trying to go, and you can say, okay, well, here's what I'm able to do. Here's what you can do. You leverage each other's strengths and weaknesses and all that other good stuff. So while it may not be 50-50 in terms of like tangible things that you have to offer, you can certainly bring 50-50 strategy and ideas and things like that to come together and meet your common goal.
Facts. And then on top of that, I'll be telling these young boys, you gotta give your partner, and women too, something to lose. That way, if something do go wrong, because most marriages end in divorce, right? So if you a woman, you making 70,000, 80,000, and your man only making 30,000, he gonna look at you like, hey, I need half of what you done built over this years that we done been together. But if y'all almost on equal footing and y'all get a divorce, y'all ain't gonna want nothing from each other. All right, hey, let me get out of here, you get out of here, and everything cool. You know what I'm saying? So it works in your favor all around the board, whether shit going good or bad. And people,
how long have you been married?
10 years running. 10 years running. My wife says
your wife has never held over your head the fact that she makes more. I know that's a big problem that men say happens when the woman makes more.
So look, when me and my wife first started getting this shit together, right? My wife made a decision to go to the Navy before I even knew who she was. So that's something I had to ride with, right? She went to the Navy. She was stationed in Japan. She wanted me to come out there. Now, all my life, I've been working, hustling, doing what I do, getting money by myself. And at first I told her no. Like, hey, I'm not doing that because, and I'm not telling her the reason why, but I knew you're not in the mental space yet to understand what it's going to take to pay all these bills, the pressure of paying all these bills for somebody and yourself. Because with me coming there, how I'm going to work, how I'm going to make money. You get what I'm saying? I'm not from there. I don't speak their language. I don't look like them. I'm 6'2". These people are like 5'2". Come on, man. I'm dark. Y'all see me. I'm dark as a motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? So we're having conversations with my wife, and I knew she needed me there. I'm like, all right, let me go make the sacrifice to go there. So that's what I did. I moved to Japan, and with me being there, everything that I thought was gonna happen happened. Everything. You get what I'm saying? Because women in a sense, when they getting their shit together, you're not equipped to lead a household financially. You get what I'm saying? And that weighs heavy. You get heavy. So that tested us in the beginning, right? For a long time. And then when I moved back to Houston, you get what I'm saying? One of my checks was more than what she made in a month in the Navy, right? So I would leave my check stubs on the counter on purpose just so she could see them when she came back, just so she could see them, right? Now, when my wife came back permanently, she wasn't working. Didn't bother me one bit. You get what I'm saying? I'm working. I'm paying all the bills, giving her what she needs and all that type of stuff. So one day I sit down, I'm like, this is what you were supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm not making money for me. I'm making money for us. You know what I'm saying? You say you want our life to be straight. This is for us. So from that day on, we never had that problem. Never had that problem on, you know what I'm saying? Like basically like the belittling and all that type. We never had that problem.
You have to make a certain amount of money to prove your point, though, right?
Huh?
I said, but you had to make a certain amount of money to prove
No, it wasn't the certain amount of money. It was the positions we was in. Because now the roles are reversed. So now I can show you what you should have did. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you only learn stuff when you're in the back seat of the position. You don't learn it driving.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You learn when you sitting in the passenger seat and the person's talking to you, telling you why they doing these things and all that. You get what I'm saying? And my wife wasn't in that position yet. And when she got there, she understood everything I was trying to tell her. So from that day on, we never had a problem on no money. We never had anything on none of that.
Can you talk about?
All right, man, real quick. Kenny is stupid, dog.
What Kenny talking about?
He talking shit, bro. I'm gonna tell you like you know, they're messing with you. But everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. No, we said we was gonna bring people up tonight, but I told y'all last week, man, the 4-hour sessions is over with, man. So we gonna ask one more question, and then we gonna wrap this thing on up, man. And my last question is: in 2022, what does submission look like? With all of these 50-50 situations and just the advancement of modern society away from what traditional roles were, what does submission to a man look like in this era in 2022?
I'm gonna let Rick go, man. I see Rick doing shaking his head. What's up, baby?
It doesn't exist.
I'm with Rick. Whatever Rick say, that's what I'm with tonight. That's what I'm with tonight.
It's evident it doesn't exist. How can you submit to a partner? You don't submit to your business partner. Y'all come to an agreement. That's what y'all want. Y'all want business partners. Y'all don't want no mate.
Business?
What?
Isn't marriage a business?
Is it? That's what y'all make it, right?
That's how it's always been, though.
No, that's how shit always is, because that's the way y'all make it.
No, this is how the hierarchy has made it. Only the wealthy was allowed.
You're bringing up the point, so I gotta address you. What business is what are you talking about? My wife is not our business. Our relationship is not a business.
Marriage.
Like I said, if you want to keep, I understand why a lot of y'all gonna die alone.
Is that a bad I don't know why men say that, as like there's some women who are actually okay with
I know, and it's never y'all. It's never y'all on the
a lot of men
panel.
say that end up dying.
Look, look at what I'm saying. If that's what you with, cool. Don't cry about the shit. Don't cry about it. Like I said before, y'all want to move from extremes, but y'all don't be out here shaking extreme. Y'all don't be out here making sound decisions because y'all scared of everything that's happening. Y'all just be out here willy-nilly. It's whatever, man. It doesn't. Black man, save yourselves, bro. Save yourselves.
But you're married, so why are you saying
that? Hey, my point is proven. I got mine.
So now you're able to say it after the fact that you got married, but what about when you were single?
I've been married for 22 years. You making a moot point.
So you're out of touch because you're married.
I'm not out of touch. Y'all out of touch because you're single.
So now you can sit on a high pedestal because you've been married that long.
No, I'm not on no high pedestal. You on a low one.
Yeah, you are, because you're trying to knock people and say, well, that's why you're single and you're going to die alone.
Sometimes you got to get knocked. That's y'all fucking problem. Y'all ain't got no shame.
Shame of
you
what?
Ain't got no goddamn shame. Everything just the way it is because the way that's the one it to be. And then y'all want to cry and complain because of the way the shit is. Keep that. You're talking to the wrong one. Move on. Move on, please. Move on.
All right, hold on. Everybody, let's reel it in. I was just about to get us up out of here peacefully. I tried my best. Everybody, let's relax. Everybody in the chat, calm down. Mods, make sure it's not too much, nothing crazy going on. We're gonna be respectful on this panel. We were almost up out of here. Almost out.
Taylor, don't try to push positive to me when everything you come is from the most extreme negative standpoint.
How you know that?
Because that's what you say every time you in here.
I'm speaking from women.
So you know every single woman in the world.
Extreme when it's women perspective. I'm a woman. I hear other women.
So you're speaking for you then, correct?
I'm not speaking for me. I'm not speaking.
Could you please pick a story?
I'm speaking for other women.
Could you please pick a story?
Speaking for other women.
Is it you or is it all women? Is it you or is it all women?
Platform as a Black woman, so I'm going to represent.
You still not gonna answer the question?
I don't even relate to some of the stuff that I say.
So why you bring it up?
Right to me.
So look, B. Taylor, look, do you think marriage is a business in your perspective, in your mind?
For me, but when you get a divorce, I hear people say it is a business because at the end of the day,
what does it matter what people say? What does it mean to you?
But we're not just we're on a panel on a public platform speaking from perspectives of other people.
So B, look,
representing other people. I'm a Black woman to represent what other Black women are saying.
Hey, so B, so I understand what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Divorce, like in marriage, like the moment it becomes business is when somebody put them divorce papers on the table, right?
Right.
It's business from that standpoint because in the marriage, I'm hoping people that's getting a divorce then built something as far as like assets and houses and the tangible shit that, you know what I'm saying, that'll leave both sides in a sense happy. You get what I'm saying? Now for women, majority of the time since this shit been going on, it's been business for y'all. because in the past, divorce has made women millionaires more often than them putting in the work to be millionaires. This is fact. You can actually look that up. That is facts, right? So in a standpoint of divorce, it is business. That's why I tell these young brothers and these young women, get you something as far as job and pushing your partner job and all this type of shit or business. Both of y'all have something. That way, if y'all do end the divorce, the business not sloppy. You get it's only sloppy and divorces in really bad is when a party is lacking something. If
But
no
I think
one is
that's
lacking
going
it,
into it in bad faith. Like that's going into it in bad faith.
No.
You shouldn't have a contingency plan for when you get married just in case you get a divorce. It should be all in. Like we're all in.
That is true.
But that's not.
But
It needs to start being reality. Like I'm so sick of these trial marriages. Oh, this one doesn't work. Maybe the next one. This one doesn't work. Maybe this one. It's like it's for better for worse. It's till death do us part. Like those vows mean something. And I feel like.
But Kelly, we ain't gonna act like
people get married.
You know what I'm saying? People don't get divorced more than they get married. That's just what it is. Like people get divorced at a high clip.
Yeah, but
if people lose shit, and more often than not, the man lose more in a marriage. You get what I'm saying? More often than not, we stand to lose a whole lot more than y'all stand to lose. Hell, y'all stand to gain from the divorce than we do. Mm-hmm. So that's why I would tell a young brother.
I bring a lot to the table. So
I understand that. But is it money? Is it assets?
Absolutely. Rental properties, franchises. Yes.
Okay. So look, listen to me. Say you meet a man, right? And you got all that. He don't have that yet. Y'all start working towards it, right? But he only let's say you got 8 rental properties and he has 3. Y'all get a divorce and he want half of what you got. You gonna have to come off of that, no matter how you feel about it. And at that point, that's when your divorce will get ugly. Because you're like he don't deserve that.
I don't believe in divorce. I believe in making sure you pick the right one before you start a marriage. And if you feel like that's the right person, that's the person you're doing life with, that's the person you build with, you don't give up on it. You fight to make it work. People work so hard at their job. They can't stand their bosses. They can't stand what they're doing, but they make it work for 50 years. Mm-hmm. I think people should have that mentality for marriage.
That's true.
You. It didn't work out. We're fighting. Let me leave. Let me go find somebody better. Like
Kelly, but that's not realistic in a relationship.
Well, it needs to start being realistic.
Yeah, but that'll never happen in a million years. So you gotta protect yourself. And my opinion, the way you protect yourself, you make sure your partner is on equal footing with you.
In my opinion, I think you should have lots of conversations before you get married. What do you think about this? How do you feel about this? What are we going to do if this happens? Like scenario, you need to have these conversations. People are like, "Ooh, you look good. I look good. We have great sex. Let's get married. We're attracted." That is bullshit. You are building a life together, so you need to find out their mindset. You need to. What is your mentality? How will you handle this? What happens if something goes wrong? How do you handle it? Like these are conversations are not happening.
All that goes out the window when somebody's talking about a divorce. So
money,
money
and divorce, all that talking y'all did about what about this?
Doesn't matter.
But if you have chemistry and you're really building together, there's more reason for you to stay than to get a divorce.
I understand that. But if the other party for you may want to stay. But if the other party want out, you can't do nothing about that. You can't force them to stay.
My husband ain't going nowhere because unlike Ricky said, the second time I disagree with Ricky on roller coasters, and I do believe submission is still a thing. I guess I can speak on it because that's what I grew up seeing. So I think it's still alive and well, especially in other cultures, maybe not so much in the Black community. But I think, what was the original question, Tro? What does it look like in today's society?
Right. Considering the modernism of women and men, if we're just gonna keep it G. Like this is a different era than what tradition used to be in terms of submission. So what does that look like in this era?
So I'll tell you a story. I'm getting a little personal here, but when I was engaged, about a year and a half ago, my fiance, to me, submission is, in my scenario, modern times, it was making sure his life was just easier because I was in it. So I woke up in the morning and I took his son to school because his son wanted to learn how to drive. So I would let him drive to school, came back in the morning, and he liked his morning sex. So we had sex every morning, and he liked his breakfast. So I made him breakfast, and I know that he got really busy during the day. Sometimes he didn't get to lunch. So I would always pack him a lunch just in case. I would go to work 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours a day. When I got off from work, I would call him, hey, what do you want for dinner? Am I cooking? Are you cooking? What would you like? Like, I think that there is a way to make it work, but I don't think you should do that for every guy. This is the person that you want to be with. I think you need to take those steps to make sure he's happy so he isn't going anywhere. And then we would have sex at night too. And sometimes a quickie for lunch, because you know what? Men got to eat, not just food, but sex too. So my man's not going to go anywhere. But I don't feel like you should just give that to any man. That should be something reserved that you keep for you to give to that one person.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
What I said about marriage being a business is going back on the original creation of marriage. It wasn't it was a business thing for the rich and the hierarchy, because people married into different families. The father chose the men of different families who benefited their family business. That's what I meant when I said it's a business, as in that. I don't know where this conversation went, where Ricky was triggered. That's why I started laughing, because I was like, where the hell did his anger come from?
Well,
and I'm still confused, and I don't really care about it, because I don't even know what I said that triggered you so hard. But I'm not saying your marriage or everybody's marriage is a business. I was talking about the history of marriage and where it came from. Obviously, it's different now, just like marriage is different now, and it's not traditional. It's a modern marriage. Modern men and modern women are coming together trying to figure out how it's going to work.
If we're going back to original creation of marriage, it was Adam and Eve. And God created Adam, and he said it's not good for a man to be alone. So he created a woman, and he created her as the helper to the man.
But Adam and Eve,
pretty sure in the Garden of Eden, she was submitting to his authority until she gave that damn apple.
They weren't married. Who married them?
They was never married.
They was never married.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Marriage was a hierarchy thing where people married into other families to benefit wealth, to create generational wealth. The Rothschild family is a prime example of that. And then it's like everybody started to get married. Slaves couldn't get married. That's why they jumped the broom, like, because they weren't allowed to get married. Like, it's just like, I was just saying it's a business deal as in that. I'm not saying I look at marriage as a business. I believe what Kelly said. When I get married, I want to stay married.
That's for life.
All right. I'm going to try this one more time, man. First, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody on the panel. You already know it's love. Before we get up out of here, man, we got to pay some bills one last time.
Sheesh. That is a fact.
Rolling in. And Dow says women married to men that make 150 plus don't know what 50-50 is. Come on. Kenny Kenny's messing with Smooth.
Hey, Kenny.
Tanya with the 50 piece. Tanya rich, man. I need to find out what Tanya do for a living. Jesus Christ. You say one last comment, then I need to get some beauty sleep. That's the issue with women. They see potential in that man and think that she can turn him into that vision. No, it doesn't matter how much you water him if there's no seed to grow. Goddamn. Jesus Christ.
That deep right there.
Trust only motion.
Yeah, Yvonne Hayes says being a leader is in a man's DNA. It's biochemical. It's a biochemical fact. Do the research, ladies. Wisdom and knowledge is the balance that men bring to the table, not women.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, you was going to have to help me with that. He's going to help me with
Ecclesiastes. Look at us.
Yeah, that's a fact. Black Gokun says, thank you, Ricky Williams. Kevon back again. He said, B. Taylor is so triggered. Sister, you just mentioned wisdom. As a fellow Christian, you've contradicted yourself multiple times. You are confusing. B. Taylor, you want to respond to that before we go forward?
I don't even know where he was commenting on that or which part he was talking about. I'm not triggered. I think it's funny. I think Ricky was triggered because he was the only one.
I ain't triggered. I ain't triggered.
Watch yourself. I'm not even
y'all ain't gonna really waste my time, to be honest with you.
It's not an argument.
Yeah, I ain't arguing. Who arguing?
Yeah, but your tone and everything.
My tone is my tone. Thank you, tone police. Thank you, tone police.
All right. Hold on, guys. We're gonna get this back started. We done calmed it down. Let's keep it calm. Let me get
put $1 up for the tone police. Put $1 in for the tone police. Go ahead, put a super chat in for the tone police.
All right, we're gonna go to Sheldon. We're gonna go to Sheldon Ward. Salute to the brothers. Y'all looking good, ladies. Ricky, don't give it a business like that. Everything is always about how they feel. Tanya back again. Say, okay. Tanya back again. She said, "Okay, I'm back. I'm with Ricky. B. Taylor, is it true that it is true that you are so extreme on negatives? I've been wondering who's in your circle. You need new associates."
And this is the internet, and she doesn't know my circle, so carry on.
Honest, Black Gold can say 50% of marriages end in divorce. 70% of those divorces are filed by women. So that's a fact as well. Spencer Campbell says, "Bro is correct. B. Taylor's attractive, but KS talk to women who thinks just like her every night. Keep rocking, Ricky." It's that S Bro says, "I buy car insurance. Doesn't mean I play bumper cars. I still believe in getting regular maintenance because I want the car to run for a long time." I guess he's saying about protecting yourself going into a marriage. Sheldon Ward says, "Kelly, you are a rare breed and don't look at the worst case scenario out the gate. It's your sisters who look at it in that way, then make excuses." Tanya back again.
What are you talking about?
Tanya back again. She says, "Kelly, I thought you said submission was only for a husband. It seems your fiance had you like Cam's girl was acting."
No, I had myself like that because I wanted to. But I got a lot out of that. He was a giver too.
All right.
I wasn't just giving. He was giving a lot.
All right. We got a couple more, man.
Antonio, the only reason we didn't get married is because his son died a month before we were supposed to get married. So it changed the dynamic.
Y'all still talk?
Yeah, we're friends. But it was traumatic for him. It was a tragic motorcycle accident. He was totally unexpected.
Feel sorry for that brother, man. Feel sorry for that brother.
Yeah. Prayers out to bro. Jeez. Nat P lays the pipe. Come on, bro. There's at Kelly the Queen. Real recognize real. Tanya back again says submission in modern days is represented as the second definition.
I swear to God, I was waiting for my turn so I could do that.
Say, look it up because y'all got enough of my money tonight.
I swear to God, I had it pulled up. I was waiting for my turn.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have to get.
We're gonna have to read it.
Can you say new single dropping? Mary had no lambs. Get the fuck out of here. What's that? Honest citizen.
I don't even fight.
They coming for B. Taylor tonight, guys.
You know what? The ones that are paying are coming from me, but I'm looking at the other comments, and that's fine because they're far from the truth, and I think it's hilarious. I'm far from a feminist.
There we go. She addressed that. Baby Zaddy, Tanya, let me hold $1. That's a fact. I need to find out what the hell Tanya do for a living. Jesus Christ.
Tanya just got paid.
Let me read that definition real quick because I was just going to say, this is what it should be today, 2022. The second definition is what I've been looking at for the past hour. The action of presenting a proposal, application, or other document for consideration or judgment. At the end of the day.
That's like a submission, like submitting paperwork.
No.
That's what they signing up for. That's what they want.
But it sounds better than a superior force or authority. You say that.
No, because men
that's
are the
triggering
head.
too.
They are the superior force. That's just facts. That's the way God laid it out.
But how many women
equal is ridiculous. We're not.
How many women are going to admit that? Like you just saying superior force.
How many women are going to go punch a dude in the face if he tries to beat her up? No, you're going to call a man. We're not equal.
I'm just saying superior and authority are triggering words because it gives off the impression that they're weaker. And so that's why they don't want to do it.
We are. Oh my God. If we try to go best friends, like nobody's gonna eat. We're not equal.
You're right. Hey, Kelly, and you're right.
I agree with you.
But most women now in today's age, they are fighting to be on equal footing with men. So you have to sit at this table and eat what the men eat. You want to be equal. You want to make the money. You want to make the money. You want to make big boy moves. You got to come do big boy shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women don't want to do that. But they'll complain about the money discrepancy between her and her male counterpart, and they doing the same job. You know what I'm saying? You want to sit at the table, baby? This is what it is. You got to do what we do too. You want to make 150? Let's go in this coal mine together. You gonna be dirty every day. You get what I'm saying? Your lungs might be messed up when you 60. You know, but you want to make the money though. You can't sit in the office and make the same money y'all making in this coal mine. This shit just don't work like that. But women want that.
And on that note, man, we're gonna wrap this thing up.
2:45.
I told y'all we weren't gonna do 4 hours no more, man. Everybody in the chat that was doubting me, we didn't make 4 hours again this week. That's 2 weeks in a row. We're gonna try to keep this trend going. Again, shout out to everybody on the panel. Y'all already know, man, it's love. I appreciate y'all for coming up, you know what I'm saying, and you know, showing love as y'all always do, dropping gems and things of that nature. We're gonna be right back at this thing next Wednesday, same time, new topic. Well, we're gonna try to get on a little bit early. We're gonna try to get on at 9:30. We had some technical difficulties this week, but we ain't gonna touch on that too much. But next Wednesday, same time, same place, man. Appreciate everybody for coming out. And on that note,